meaningful game for Paris Saint-Germain. So this is a meaningful week for Paris Saint-Germain.
A tough task ahead for Villa, but John McGinn's not writing him off.
A lot of people thought we had reached our ceiling a couple of seasons ago and we proved them wrong. We've still got the same hunger and desire to go and achieve more. And as long as we've got the hunger and desire to do that, the Aston Villa fans can expect as much as possible.
A reminder, the Super Cup's live on talkSPORT tonight. Coverage getting underway at 7. Meanwhile, FIFA President Gianni Infantino won't be attending that fixture as pressure for him to resign grows. In transfer news, talkSPORT understands Barcelona have offered €60 million for Rodri. Ferran Torres is closing in on a permanent move from Barca to PSG, while Chelsea have announced the signing of left-back Pat Chavaria from Rayo Vallecano. And there's questions around the future of Lionel Messi's playing career and whether he'll retire. This is following the sad passing of his father, Jorge. Messi now says he has quite a few doubts about whether he'll keep doing it for much longer. And Joe Root has scrapped the controversial curfew for the England Test cricket team. The new captain's asked his players to simply behave like grown adults ahead of his first series back at the helm against Pakistan. You can get more on the website talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
There have been more than 1,000 wildfires in England and Wales this year as the Prime Minister begins an emergency COBRA meeting about how the UK is responding to the extreme heat. Sinead's got more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Sort your new tyres this summer at a time that suits you best from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
Sunny and dry for much of the country as we're into the 5th heat wave of the year. Some cloudy spells in the northwest.
Yeah, good afternoon. You are listening to Drive on talkSPORT. I'm Jamie Hire, Rory Jennings alongside me.
Me and Frosty Knickers.
Today, we're going to be asking if Spurs are right to let Jed Spence head to Inter. 26 million. Where can they finish as well under De Zerbi? Encouraging signs, it seems, at Spurs. You can have your say on that. Rory and I will be doing our Premier League predictions as well ahead of the new season. We'll ask about Roberto Martinez. He's getting another top job. Unbelievable. Paul Pogba as well. Could he still do it in the Premier League? He's leaving Monaco. We're here. Your questions for Rory and WhatsApp Rory. You can get those in on 03717 223344. All of that, plus it's been booting off on the station all day. Who makes Rory's top 10 biggest clubs in the UK? We just had our newsreader in there talking guff, as usual. It's Drive on talkSPORT. Get involved in the show. 03717 223344. Hello, mate.
How are you?
I'm all right. All
causing
good.
dramas, haven't you? Causing dramas.
The season ain't even kicked off yet, has it?
I know.
Already had one player have a little pop.
I know. All you want is a quiet life, and look what's going on.
I know, mate. I know, but you can't have a quiet life in the media, can you?
No, that's true. And the night is young now. Look, we're a few minutes into the show. Who knows where it's going to go?
Who knows, mate? You're always going to roll somebody up.
Well, you are. You need to be more like me, just tranquil and calm, steady waters.
You could talk, mate. Honestly, I've seen a few messages today and you go, yeah, that O'Hara and Gabby, they're talking rubbish. Need to get rid of them. You know, Rory talks sense. I'm like, having a laugh.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah. that was me saying that. Yeah. I've been commenting. I've been God, those two have been terrible. Look at those two giggling away.
Brennan Johnson, listen, fair play to him. He had a little bite. And that's fine. Got no problem with a player having a bite back because it's all part and parcel of working in the media, being a footballer. You're going to take criticism. He obviously didn't like the fact we said it was crap for crap. What he didn't realise, and I'm sure...
That's weird of him, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously he's not going to like that. But, it was only a bit of a laugh. But, I get it. People are going to... You get the ump with things. I've been called crap plenty of times. Get called crap every single day of the week. Don't take it personal. All right? It is what it is. He has been crap.
Yeah, I think that's
like,
the point.
I'm sorry, but... I'm not saying he's a bad player. Anyone who plays Premier League football, anyone who does what he's done, fair play, brilliant. Last season, Brennan Johnson was crap.
Yeah.
He would be the first to admit it. And hopefully he goes to Everton and he does all right. And Dwight McNeil goes the other way. I like Dwight McNeil. I think he's a good player. His stats is what we were talking about on the show, me and Gabby, were crap.
Yeah.
So... there's no apology needed. I know Gabby bottled it like he always does.
He blamed you. He said it was you.
He tried to throw me under the bus. Not the first time, won't be the last. But I'll stand by it. nothing against Brennan Johnson.
I think you're right.
He's got all the attributes to be a decent player.
Yeah, I think
last
you're right.
season he was crap.
Yes, and I think that's the point you're making, isn't it? Like it became a banterous clip, as these things do. It becomes like fun and games and whatever. But effectively, what you're saying was that his output last season wasn't good enough.
No.
And I don't think anyone can argue with that. That's not suggesting that his legacy is not brilliant. That's not suggesting that he didn't win Tottenham Hotspur a European trophy. That's not suggesting that he wasn't pivotal to Tottenham Hotspur beating Manchester United in Spain in a European final.
Yeah.
All of that you acknowledge.
Yeah, great.
It's just his form last year wasn't good enough, which is why he didn't play, which is why he got the move, and which is why he's on the move again.
Well, I think there's Crystal Palace fans out there who would probably glad to see the back of him. Spurs fans weren't too bothered when he left.
Yeah.
So it's now down to him to go to Everton and make the fans get on side. And look, I hope he does. Any player.
I hope he scores on his debut
who answers his
and has a picture of you on a vest.
That'd be great.
I hope he scores.
Any
reveals
player
a vest and
who
a picture
comes
of you.
back and bites back and answers their critics, I'm all for. It's the game that we are in. When I played, I got slaughtered. I remember Paul Merson digging me out live on Sky for not tracking back. You don't take it.
If he scores 15 goals next season, you hold your hands up, don't you? If he scores 15 goals next season, you hold your hands up and go, fair play.
Well done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well done. And I hope he does. Got nothing against.
We'll cross that imaginary bridge when we get to it.
Yeah. We'll see. Right, loads to go at, and we're going to start with this.
Comes back to Matheus Fernandes, who unleashes a rocket into the near corner.
Spurs fans have had a couple of, crappier seasons in the league, and I guess there's going to be a lot of optimism and excitement this summer. They're still a couple of pieces short of being competing in the top six. There's no doubt Spurs can be back in business.
Punched away by the goalkeeper, out to Tonali, through a crowded in.
Top 6 or 7, I'm personally happy. I'm content. If we get top 4, I'll be over the moon. Anything above that is just, we're going crazy, I'll be honest. So I'm happy.
Corner swung in, 9th minute, right over everybody. Oh, and it's into the back of the net by Jan Vol van Hecker. Spurs are back.
Yeah, we haven't really got into Spurs. I've been here for 3 days now doing Drive, and we finished the season under De Zerbi. We've rebuilt the team. There is big news actually coming out that maybe Jed Spence as well might be on his way out to Inter Milan. What do you think about Jed Spence?
I think he did incredibly well during the World Cup. I think that he was almost the unsung hero, the standout player from the players that we didn't expect to shine. But I also think that Tottenham are well covered in terms of the position that he plays. Like if you look at left back, he's definitely behind Andy Robertson and definitely behind Destiny Udogie. So he'd be third choice.
Yeah. And
over the other side, he's definitely not ahead of Pedro Porro, and you have Archie Gray there to play if needed.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Archie Gray playing right back. Like I would like to see Archie Gray try and cement down a position at Tottenham because he's just played everywhere. And I know he can fill in, and fair play to him, he can be a utility player, but I would like to see Archie Gray try and become a centre midfield player.
Yeah,
that's why we signed him.
I agree, but he offers cover. For Pedro Porro, Archie Gray can offer the cover. So ultimately, you've got a situation with Jed Spence where I think this is fair to say because of how well he played during the World Cup, there is never ever going to be a better market to sell Jed Spence than right now, today. His value is at its highest.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at it from an opportunity, maybe through a business lens, you're going to look at Jed Spence, you're going to think about the player that he was prior to the World Cup, think about the noise around him getting into the World Cup squad, and then think about the player that he is seen as today.
Yeah.
Now is the time to sell, if there ever is a time.
Yeah, especially if the manager's not really having him. If he doesn't feel like...
just doesn't get in.
I don't think he fits in the team in terms of the way De Zerbi wants to play. I like what he brings to the table in terms of his athleticism, his pace. He's a good 1v1 defender. But I think the way De Zerbi wants to play, I just don't know if he really fits into his mould. And that's why I think maybe they'll look at it and just say, okay, well, we'll move him on. I'm not gutted he's gone. I think he would have been a decent squad player. I think he would have had minutes. But I don't think he's a starter in the team. So, in that sense, I think Porro, I really like Porro. But Porro can't play every single game.
No, he can't play every single game. But remember, you're not in Europe, so you don't have to kind of juggle the rigorous nature of European football. You also have Archie Gray. I know we just discussed this, but you don't need Jed Spence. You now have an opportunity to make 25 million quid.
Yeah.
To get a player off your books, a player that De Zerbi can't fancy. And I truly believe that if you keep hold of him for a year, his value is going to plummet to what it was prior to the World Cup, even less than that.
I think it's fair.
It's a good time to sell.
And to him as well, decent move. Right?
But you're in a good shape. Like Tottenham, I don't like saying this, and this doesn't come naturally to me at all. But I only really have praise regarding Tottenham. I only have positive things to say at the moment. I think that since you got rid of Igor Tudor, I feel like every decision that Tottenham have made have been correct.
Yeah. And I mean, that one was like the final nail in the coffin of how bad it had got with Igor Tudor, right? That decision was just like remarkable. And then since then, it does feel like there's been a bit of a, right, okay, this cannot continue. We cannot make another mistake. And so far, it looks like we're doing okay. We still need a centre forward. We still need a left winger, right? I don't know when Kudus is coming back. I know he's training. Kulusevski, when's he going to feature again? If you can get them back and keep them fit, really good players to have in your team. But I still feel like we've got the back four looks sorted. Midfield two, Tonali and Fernandes looking strong, and then after that, I'm like, right, Tell is not the answer, I don't think. Conor Gallagher, yeah, he's okay, he'll work on. Solanke and Richarlison, not convinced. And then on the right, Kudus and Kulusevski ain't fit. So I don't know, against Brentford, I don't know how we'll start. But I think we're one or two attacking players away from being a really decent squad, a really decent team.
I think you're that already, to be totally honest. And I don't like saying these words, but I think you're that already.
No, I don't.
I know this is a really basic way to look at it, but who do you think, what club has had the best window so far? I think it's quite easily maybe Arsenal, maybe Tottenham, but whether you think Chelsea, okay? Yeah, but Tottenham have had top 3, top 5 windows, no doubt. Like without actually drilling into it and coming up with an answer and arguing.
Well, we signed Tonali and Fernandes. There's two players we needed.
I mean, Tonali though, we can't gloss over it like that. Signing Tonali was a statement, pivotal signing, excellent player. Fernandes, perfect. Andy Robertson, in my opinion, exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Van Hecke, ideal. Senesi, clever. I think it's perfect, and I think you can really draw a line in the sand pre and post Daniel Levy. So like this window, it really feels like it's a sign of things to come. The Lewis family doing things differently to what was happening before.
Yeah.
You've gone out, you've been decisive, you've spent big money, you've rivaled. Look, Tonali could have pretty much gone anywhere. You've got him. Part of the reason you've got him is London. The other part of the reason that you've got him is you've paid him the wages.
Yeah, and De Zerbi, I think.
And De Zerbi, the link, yeah, absolutely. You've got Fernandes. Manchester United wanted him. You've got him. This isn't Tottenham that we've known for 2 decades.
No, but we'll see. I'm still not convinced with the front line. We need one more signing. I don't know why we don't go for I know there's talk of Savinho, right? And I like Savinho. I think
good player.
Yeah, decent player. He hasn't quite done it yet, but there's something there that I can get behind. And I think Tottenham, we might probably end up getting him. I don't know why we haven't gone for Marcus Rashford.
You've said this to me before, Jay. You're a big fan of Rashford, aren't you?
Well, I'm a fan, and I always have been. And I know he annoyed a lot of people with Man United, and he ended up looking like he was going to go. But for me, he's electric. Like, he is a top player. And I know the issue is wages. I get it, 350 grand a week, whatever it is, right? But you're getting for a snippet of what he's probably worth. You get him for 30 million, right? Like, the lad, if you brought him in, he answers all our problems. Left wing, centre forward. He can play in both positions. He's got a point to prove. His future's not at Barcelona. He's coming back to Man United. Do Man United really want to keep him? I don't know if they do. I think they'd be happy to let him go. I don't know why we've not gone out for him. I don't know why we've not tried to make a deal happen. I think it's the perfect deal and the perfect time to try and get Marcus Rashford at your football club. Whether he wanted to come, I don't know. Whether it's wages and he won't take less than what he's on, I don't know. But
does it not bother you? Like, this isn't the first time that I've heard someone say that about Marcus Rashford. For the record, I agree with you, but I think it's an interesting one to explore. How up for football is Marcus Rashford? How focused on football is Marcus Rashford? If you bring him in, what impact does that have on your harmony in the dressing room, the wage structure at the club? Like, Marcus Rashford hasn't had a good season in the Premier League for, not far off a decade.
No, come on.
Not far off? 7 years?
No, come on.
How long ago?
Listen, he done all right last season at Barcelona. He was a decent player.
Yeah. No, he had.
And it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he scored 25 goals or something, right?
How long ago was that?
Well, it was a while ago, but then he fell out with Amorim, right? And it hasn't worked out, and he looked like the club was in disarray. I like Marcus Rashford. I don't think that deal will happen. I don't know why we've not been more in trying to make that deal work, because it just works.
Yeah,
I know the wages are big, but they want him out. They want to get rid of him. He's at Barcelona last season.
Yeah,
he's a decent player. So I don't know. maybe it's going to be Savinho. But
Savinho would be a good signing, though.
no, I like Savinho.
I think you're going to have a good season. The other thing that
Rashford's
we
a
haven't
better
even
player than
touched on.
Savinho.
Do you know what we haven't? Rashford is at the moment.
Oh, come on.
Rashford's legacy is more impressive at the moment, yes. But also Marcus Rashford has been problematic for a long time now. He has been. Look, I like Rashford. I was arguing that Rashford should start for England at the World Cup. But let's not pretend that Marcus Rashford wasn't banned from Manchester United by Ruben Amorim because he was drunk in a bar in Belfast when he should have been training with his teammates. Let's not pretend that last week Marcus Rashford wasn't boozing on a yacht off the coast.
Yeah, he's on his holiday.
Yeah, but he's back next week.
Yeah, but he's on holiday. He's been at the World Cup. He's allowed to go and enjoy himself.
I'd say the optics of it are quite bad when you've already.
Nah, I disagree with that, mate. You've got to have time off.
He's already
And if he's relaxing, he's on a yacht.
He's already
and so
he's on a yacht. Look, I probably agree with you. I don't massively care about this, but he's on a yacht surrounded by 10 women, boozing. No, I mean I wasn't invited. That's why I kind of got a hump with it.
Sounds like a great time. I mean, why are you getting up with that?
I'm kind of getting. I'm not getting a hump with it. What I'm flagging is that he's
jealous, mate. You're jealous.
Yeah, I'm definitely jealous. I've never been on a yacht in my life, so yeah, and I've certainly never been around 10 women. But no, what I'm sort of trying to say is Marcus Rashford has already been in the headlines for boozing and missing Manchester United training, missing a game. I think they played at Molineux and he didn't start.
I remember there was a period where he
and that was because he was drunk in a bar in Belfast. Surely the optics of it means a week before you're meant to be back with your club, you aren't out boozing. Surely just the optics, professionalism.
He's played in the World Cup and he's allowed time off. Time off, Rory.
Yeah, there's optics though. There's professional optics.
I disagree, mate. I disagree with that. I totally.
Where do you think Marcus Rashford plays his football this season?
I think he starts at Man United. I don't know if he stays there, but I think he will be involved.
Feels like it's gone so wrong for him at Manchester United. I remember when they beat us in the cup. They had a really good turnout against us in the cup. They had the whole shed end, like the Manchester United fans took over the whole shed, and they were so loud. They were singing that Stone Roses. Remember the Marcus Rashford song they used to sing to the Stone Roses about him being Manc born and bred and all that? That feels so long ago. Yeah. You had 6,500 Manchester United fans in unison singing the Stone Roses, adoring Marcus Rashford. I don't think they can get back to that.
I don't know. We'll see. Either he's going to do it at Man United or he's going to do it elsewhere, but he'll be playing football, that's for sure. Get your calls in. You can have your say on that. We want to talk about Spurs. We haven't really spoke about Spurs so much on the drive this week, so now's your chance. 03 717 22 33 44.
We don't know. Because, do you know what I'm not buying, Gabby? I'm not buying this whole, Victor would have been a problem. I don't know if we would have been Vinny would have taken the number 7 shirt, would he?
No.
We don't know.
I don't think that, but like Vinny Jr.'s character, like he's coming to Arsenal, he wants Ballon d'Ors, do you know what I mean? Like,
what's wrong with that?
No, but I'm saying, and also, he's coming in on a lot more money than other players. If you're Saka and Rice and Ryan and Gabriel and Saliba, and he's coming in, triple what you're earning,
massive causes.
Well, if you've won a couple of Champions Leagues, right, and the league is running out your ears, then yeah.
As far as the other players are concerned, that doesn't matter.
Why not? Why does that not matter?
They're the players who just won you the Premier League.
But that's the player. But that's the marquee signing. Bruno G cannot be our marquee signing. He can't. We need a statement signing. That's what I would like.
You don't need a statement signing. You don't need any particular signing. You'll win this Premier League without it. And people will say, strengthen from a position of strength. Well, just ask Liverpool fans what happened when they won the league, and they strengthened with people like Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz.
Do you know what my issue is that I do think we're going to win the league this year, and I think we're stronger. But I think of the fact that when you're in these kind of positions, like a Man City were when they first won the league, when they beat United on goal difference, you have to capitalise. You have to know that your future depends on this 2, 3, 4 year period.
You are listening to Drive on Talk Sport. Me, Jamie High, Rory, Jennings, taking your calls on a bit of Spurs chat. 03 717 22 3344. Let's go to Rob. He is a Spurs fan. All right, Rob?
Hello, Jamie. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thanks for phoning in. Bit of Spurs chat. How do you feel we're going to go into this season?
I think we're going to go strong if we can get rid of Solanke and Richarlison, because they both not deserve to be in the team.
We ain't going to get rid of Solanke.
They need to get rid of Solanke. He's useless.
Oh, he's not useless, mate. Come on, he's not useless.
He's not a Spurs player, Jamie. Sorry. You was a Spurs player until you had your injury.
Yeah, no, but he's been injured.
Yeah.
He had an injury last season, didn't get going. There are certain things about Solanke I like.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt to start off with, but Richarlison's got to go.
I agree.
He's been there 5 seasons. He's not good enough.
I agree with that. But I just don't know who's going to take Richarlison. Do you know?
Give him back to Everton.
No, I just don't think I don't think they want it.
Do you think you have a good season overall, Rob? Where do you reckon you end up?
I reckon we finish in the top 3.
Top 3?
Yeah.
Okay. What's so finishing ahead of presumably then Chelsea, Liverpool?
Oh, 100%.
That sounds very optimistic.
I don't see Liverpool having a good season this season.
How can you come and say that Solanke's not a Tottenham player? Richarlison needs to go. You've got no forward, and you're going to finish third.
I've been watching Mateus Tell in the pre-season, and he's coming to form. People midfielders that can score goals.
Rob, come on, mate. Come on.
I'm being serious.
No. Listen, I love you.
I've been a Tottenham fan for 54 years.
Yeah, and you've seen us, haven't you? We're guff. We finished 17th twice in the last 2 seasons. We ain't finishing third.
The last 2 seasons we were, JB, I'll give you that.
Right.
But before that, we were half decent.
Oh, mate, come on. Rob, listen.
And I think Deserby can turn it around.
No. Yeah, there's something to build on with him for sure. If we finish 6th, 7th, that's our aim. Third.
6th or 7th, but I reckon we'll finish third.
We're not going to finish third, mate. So who's winning the league? Arsenal?
No.
Who's winning the league?
No, Arsenal are not winning the league.
Right, who's winning the league?
Man City.
And who's finishing second?
Second, I want to say us.
You just said third. You're right.
I said top 3.
Okay, so Tottenham are finishing second to Man City. So Tottenham are going to finish above Arsenal. Listen,
Arsenal get full.
Mate, what can we do? Do you know, Rob, it's an honour to talk to you.
No, it's not.
Very rare.
No, Rob, you kid, all Spurs fans out there, don't listen to Rob. All right, that ain't happening. All right, fill yourself with optimism, mate, and I enjoy your passion. Don't talk guff. Don't talk guff.
I've been passionate for 54 years, mate.
And you're an idiot because if you think we're finishing second, all right, you are living on another planet. All right, Elon Musk needs to send you up in a rocket and send you back to where you came from.
I was at Chelsea when we lost the title to Leicester.
Yeah. We finished third that year, by the way. We finished third in a 2-horse race.
Number 3.
Sorry?
Finished third in a 2-horse race.
Number 3.
Yeah, you're right, I know. All because of Hazard.
Yeah, well, also because you decided to capitulate and give away a 2-goal lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Rob, listen, it ain't happening, but okay.
Rob is the most bonkers person I've spoken to since I spoke to Jason Cundy.
Yeah, that's saying something, right?
Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
Let's ask Graham, right? Hopefully we get some realistic football fans on. Graham.
Hi, gents, you okay?
I'm all right, Graham. I'm all right. Look, Rob there is, talking absolute nonsense, but fair play to his optimism. That ain't happening. Where is a good season for Spurs?
Well, that was fun. I think Rob's in a pub somewhere, isn't he? But no, I think the start of the window started really positively for us. I think there was a method behind our madness. There was some structure, and finally we started. I think you mentioned it earlier, Jamie. We started behaving like a big club. There was signings. They were done early. They were in. We spent the money. We started doing what a manager wanted to do and not lowballing everyone and waiting until the last minute of the window. Yeah. And we've all sat there and finally gone, finally, we're acting and behaving like a big club. And this might be the start of something as similar to the Poch era that we had, where everyone was really excited. We've got a manager in there with a philosophy and a structure and a way of doing things. the thing that I'm getting a bit annoyed about now is that it was all set up so we didn't get the left winger and the striker position wrong ever again.
Yeah.
You look over the last 4 or 5 years, how many left wingers we've gone through. They've always been, with all due respect to them, the lower tier players. Tell was 7th, 8th choice at Bayern.
Yeah.
There was a reason they got rid of him.
Yeah.
We paid 20 million for Odeberg. No one else really wanted him. We went through years of signing the French boys. Anything that began with an N, we signed. And there's never been that elite level that has compensated for the rest of the club or the rest of the team. So that we gave ourselves the whole summer to get a left winger in and a striker in. We're 2 weeks away from the start of the season and we still haven't done either, which for me is getting a bit concerning.
Yeah, no, I agree. We do need to go out and sign a left winger and a centre forward. The problem is them two players that we've had over the last decade has been Son and Kane. Right? How do you replace them? We've tried, and we've got it wrong. Right? But they're hard to find. Mate.
Yeah,
the problem is like you look at Cody Gakpo, you go, oh, he's all right, he's decent. You're going in for a left winger. You've got to spend, 80, 90 million for a top one.
I think that you're being quite morbid, Tottenham fans. Look, you know far more about your club than I do, but from the outside looking in, I feel like there's a lot to be positive about.
Yeah, you've got a serious 17th.
Yeah, no, of course you did, and the season before. Let's not forget. But you've also. It feels like you've turned a corner. It feels like since that travesty of an appointment, Igor Tudor, you've turned a corner. Every decision that you've made since you decided to sack him has been correct. Bringing in De Zerbi, masterstroke, brilliant manager. You now have a serious manager. A manager capable of turning your club around. A manager capable of pushing you into the European spots. A manager capable of winning silverware.
Yeah.
That's what you've got. So excellent, right? You've got the manager. I think that your transfer work so far is excellent. Yeah, I concede. You do need a forward option. There is a lack of goals in the team. But you've also signed two of the most sought after midfielders for a combined fee of about 200 million quid. You've signed those two players. You've moved faster than Arsenal to sign Tonali. You've moved faster and more decisive than Manchester United to sign Fernandes. You've then been very clever in the defenders that you've brought in, including Andy Robertson, who I think is a great signing.
Yeah.
I hope you lot are all correct. But I think Tottenham have a good year.
I think 6.
6 is a good season. 6, especially if you can marry it up with a good cup run and then maybe
6.
a cup.
If we get back in Europe, I'm happy. That's a stepping stone for us moving forward. Let's not get carried away and start saying Champions League stuff. 6th, I'll be happy with. More than happy. You can have your say on that. Keep your calls coming in. 03 717 22 3344. Max Dowman could be like it's like having a new player.
What's that?
Because surely this has to
and
be
how many
a season.
players playing this side, by the way?
Yeah.
Tell me how many players are out there on that side where Downman was playing on the right a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they are just stacked, caked out wide.
Do you back Downman to have... I mean, I think it was his breakthrough season last season, but he was in and out.
Breakthrough.
Yeah, I know, it's absolutely mad. But do you think that this could be a season where he's regularly starting and making a regular difference?
I think he's a special talent. I think he's at the right club. I think Arteta will... they'll have a lot of games this year, and they've obviously, Champions League as usual. You'll see him more this season than last season. That kid is a star in the making, and he looks like he's made of the right stuff, and he's very exciting every time you watch him. So when you see players like him in Rio at Liverpool, the future's very bright for the English national team, right?
Without a doubt. I think that come January, Arsenal fans might be looking back at the Vinicius Junior story and thinking, we didn't need him because look at what Max Dowman's doing in the Premier League. And I'm not comparing him to Vinicius Junior before people shoot me down. What I'm saying is that in Max Dowman, you have the potential of a world-class talent. And if you continue to nurture him and release the handbrake on the minutes and on the game time, and I know you're protecting him as a young player, but if you do want to play a slightly more attacking, entertaining brand of football, then Max Dowman is the man to hang your hat on because he's something special.
No, I love the look of him, but let's not kill the kid either and put too much on him at 15, 16. But they're stacked. I mean, I know everyone's worried about the left side, Martinelli, obviously Trossard's now gone and all those things, but I still look across their forward line and go, Arsenal could win the league again with what they've got.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the tax man at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
To drive on talkSPORT. Me, Jennings, Rory, Jennings still to come. We need your questions for WhatsApp Rory later. Your chance to ask Rory anything you want about life, football. It's all out there. 03717 22 33 WhatsApp us a voice note. Now though, Roberto Martinez in advanced talks to become Netherlands boss. He's left Portugal job, got knocked out in the last 16. He won the Nations League with Portugal. He previously took Belgium to the World Cup semis. How do you feel that Martinez is getting another major job?
I've never known anyone fail upwards more than this man. He's a distinctly average manager who has basically failed in every job he's been given. You look at that abject performance. He had one of the most gifted Portuguese sides ever. And he nullified them better than any opposition manager ever could. The reason that Portugal didn't go a long way in that tournament had nothing to do with the opposition teams. It had nothing to do with...
They got beat by Spain.
But the reason that they couldn't find a way through, the reason that they put in... Do you remember that game against Congo? They started against Congo. They were terrible.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
They nullified themselves. They had the best midfield in the tournament by a mile. If you did a combined 11 of every team in that World Cup, you probably picked 3 Portuguese midfielders.
Yeah.
Right? They were on paper, absolutely unbelievable midfield.
Yeah.
and they never got going. Bruno Fernandes had the season of his life, looked abject during that World Cup.
Yeah, he did.
And it's all because of Roberto Martinez. And now he's going to go into a bigger job.
I can't believe that Netherlands, Netherlands are a big footballing nation, right? Historically, with great managers, great players. The fact that they're going for Roberto Martinez says to me that they're in disarray.
I mean,
I can't believe it. Like, he's got an absolute Carlsberg agent.
Yeah, he has. I mean, I always think that Paul Merson clip. You know, when Paul Merson spoke about him and they would put in a rubbish performance, any one of his teams, Everton, Wigan, whoever, they put in a terrible performance. He then speaks to the press afterwards, and it's as if he's used that Men in Black thing where you just forget what had happened before. Because he would they get beat 3-0, they get absolutely battered, and he then speaks, and suddenly you go, oh yeah, they did all right, they're moving in the right direction or whatever. He's a great statesman, he's a great politician, but he is a woeful manager. And the fact that the Dutch, somebody in the Dutch FA should hang their head in shame because he is never the answer. This is the land of Louis van Gaal, Gus Hiddink, Johan Cruyff, and they're turning to Roberto Martinez. Like, it's pitiful, man. It's absolutely pitiful. And just like he ruined the Belgian side, just like he ruined the Portuguese side, he will ruin the Dutch side.
Well, it looks like he's going to get the job. Let's look ahead to tonight's UEFA Super League between Champions League winners PSG and Europa League winners Aston Villa. Let's hear from Aston Villa manager Unai Emery. Spoke about his time as PSG boss.
Paris, I spent 2 years. I was happy. We were very demanding. We achieved trophies. We didn't achieve in Champions League our objectives. And after it, Arsenal was another experience. Of course, as well, I was not feeling completely successful, but the year we spent there working, I think we did a good year, a good season. And then my next opportunity I had to be here with Aston Villa, I tried again to use my old experiences, everything I learned to try to get better.
Yeah, Unai Emery speaking. Let's head over live to Salzburg. Speak to broadcaster Villa fan Dan Bardell joins us now. Right, Dan?
You all right, lads?
All right, you're looking well, mate. Yeah, look at you. Outside the ground, sunglasses on.
Got the salt and pepper going on. A little bit more salt and pepper, maybe.
Tell me about it, Rory. Tell me about it. It'll come to you as well.
Look, you've just heard Unai Emery speaking there. Obviously, this game tonight, it's a big game, right? But a lot of players haven't travelled like the main boys, right?
Yeah, it's confused me a little bit because obviously PSG are in a similar situation to Villa with the players that have gone on for the duration of the World Cup, and their players are back. So I don't know whether it sends out the right message that we've left those players at home. Like, surely they want to play and you've got a chance of a trophy. I know it's not as big as winning the Europa League or the Champions League, but it's a trophy and it's a medal nonetheless. So I'm not sure it kind of sets the right example, them not being here. And at a time when we're quite weak anyway because we have to do our business late in the transfer window because of the financials, I think it makes the game tonight very, very tough for us.
How seriously do you think you're taking this? I know that Unai Emery, despite being in this competition 3 times, has never won it. Is this something that you're up for? Are you keen, do you think, as a club? Is Unai Emery desperate to win this one?
I don't think he's as desperate as he would be to win a European Cup final or a Europa League final. Obviously not. But he'll want to be competitive and he'll want to give him a game. It's just, I think the timing of the game's pretty weird. Like, we've got a friendly on Saturday in Germany. Like, yeah, a cup final is sandwiched in the middle of 2 friendlies and players coming back late, like I've said. And I'm unsure what 11 we're going to have out tonight, but I know PSG, looking at their team, everyone is there. The Villa 11 is going to look very different to the Villa 11 that we saw in the Europa League final. Obviously, 2 of our goal scorers that night are no longer with us either. So it's going to be a huge ask because we ran PSG really, really close a few years ago in the Champions League, but I think I counted earlier. I think there'll only be 4 of those players that are playing tonight. So it's a huge ask to beat these because they're a phenomenal outfit.
Yeah, they really are. Dan, look, what do you make of Aston Villa at the moment in terms of transfers and the situation at the football club? Because it has been disappointing. You've lost Morgan Rogers, but you got £170 million for him. But it just feels like you're hamstrung a little bit.
Yeah, the rules are an absolute killer. Look, Villa have made mistakes themselves in the transfer market. We're not blameless for this, but the rules really do hamstring us. And when you think like Chelsea, who finished 10th, can come and take our best player, they're not in the Champions League. We are. They've broke transfer rules. Like, we haven't, but yet we're the ones being monitored by UEFA. Like, some of the stuff that happens, it's hard to understand, but one thing I will say with this manager is there's never any excuses. Like, whatever happens, he just cracks on and gets on with it and makes the best of it. And even if we don't achieve what we want to achieve at the end of seasons, like we've come close, but in 3 of the 4 seasons he's been here, we have achieved those goals, and to qualify for the Champions League twice in 3 years is a huge achievement. Now, I actually think this season will be a lot harder. I've said before on talkSPORT that, you know, the big six, that they're going to be the top 6 this season, I think, because the money they can go and spend compared to everyone else and the players they can pick off is absolutely frightening. But Villa's differential is the manager, and he just gets the best out of every player that's there at Villa. And if he can continue to do that, we'll be somewhere near achieving what we want to achieve again, I think.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. You are right. Unai Emery is an incredibly talented manager. And if it now goes your way and you get maybe João Paulinho over the line from Bayern Munich, if you get Matteo Ruggeri over the line from Atletico Madrid, what's the ambition next year? Do you think you can qualify for the Champions League?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've just said to you, I think it'll be difficult because of the money that the big six are spending, but it's definitely achievable. Like, because the way Unai Emery works, you know, there's still a core of players that have been there throughout his whole stint there. There's still some exceptional footballers. The goalkeeper will stay, Emi Martinez. I'm hoping Watkins will stay. Conte might be a different case. But if he brings new players in, he will work with them and attempt to make them better. We did need to get younger, because the problem is he's picked up all those players that were there when he arrived at the club, but they're all kind of getting old together. So there did need to be a little bit of a rip-up. I just think maybe the club wouldn't have expected there to be as big a rip-up this summer as there has been, but in some respects it's taken out your hands. When someone offers the money that's been offered for Rodgers, most clubs have to accept it, and when Yuri Tillemans has got a minimum fee release clause in his contract, there's literally nothing you can do about it. So maybe some of those plans have been expedited a little bit, but it was needed, and some of the players we've brought in are really good players. It will just maybe need a little bit of patience. Like, we could quite easily start this season in a similar vein to what we did last season, but last season we still achieved what we needed to achieve.
Dan, you're going to enjoy the game tonight. Score prediction, how are you seeing it?
Oh, jeez. I mean, probably 3-1 PSG. I think I'll be happy if we score. It's a monumental ask. I really think it is.
Yeah, never know with Unai Emery, though. He can produce a bit of magic. You never know.
Fingers crossed. Someone's going to have to.
Dan, top man, mate. Thanks for coming on. See you
Cheers,
later.
lads.
Be safe.
Cheers, Dan.
Dan Bardell there. That game tonight, obviously, it's a massive game, right? Look, actually, it's going to be Aston Villa PSG. It's a huge night, but again, they haven't got the players, have they?
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. But look, we saw Tottenham give Paris Saint-Germain a go. We
you just don't know what PSG is going to turn up.
Yeah, exactly. And Chelsea obviously beat Paris Saint-Germain last year. So PSG as a club, Luis Enrique's sides, they do start a bit slower.
Yeah.
They do start a bit slower. But look, it's going to be very tough for Aston Villa. But for them, it's just great to be in this competition, isn't it? They're there because they've won European silverware.
Yeah.
And that's the point. This is a cherry on the cake.
Yeah. He's a great manager, Unai Emery.
Oh, yeah, top tier.
Yeah.
Top tier.
I think he's
great club as well, Villa.
I think he's best manager in the Premier League.
I mean, it's a very easy argument to make. I would probably extend that courtesy to Mikel Arteta now he's won it.
No.
Now he's won it.
No.
It's very difficult to argue against the current.
No.
He had his team in a Champions League final in the same year.
Who would you rather as manager, Arteta or Unai Emery?
It's who's better at the moment.
I know. Who's the better manager, Unai Emery or Arteta?
Begrudgingly, I think Mikel Arteta now. History's written by the winners. They're the champions.
Favour.
When Unai Emery went into Arsenal, he made a pig's ear of the job. Unai Emery's Arsenal got absolutely slapped up by us in Baku.
Okay, right, but that's a different time at Arsenal when they was not in a good place, all right? And fair play to Arteta, he's put Arsenal in a good place. Unai Emery's a better manager than Arteta.
For Aston Villa, but not for a top-tier team. For Aston Villa. I think Mikel Arteta is better for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta probably has a bigger future. You could see Mikel Arteta going to a Barcelona, a Real Madrid, a Bayern Munich, or staying at Arsenal and having a legacy there. You can't see Unai Emery ever doing that again, can you? He's had the PSG job. It didn't go well. He's had the Arsenal job. It didn't go well.
Eventually will leave Aston Villa and will get a bigger job.
Not bigger than the jobs he's previously had and failed in.
I think it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up at Real Madrid again.
He never ever gets a job. He was at Paris Saint-Germain. He left. He didn't win the European Cup like he was supposed to. He's excellent for Villarreal when he wins a European trophy with Villarreal. He's excellent for Aston Villa. He's excellent for Seville. But the pressure of Arsenal clearly ate him alive. The pressure of Paris Saint-Germain clearly ate him alive. And begrudgingly, I have to say, Mikel Arteta could easily be the next Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich manager. And obviously, he's at the current Premier League champions and the Champions League finalists. Mikel Arteta is actually, I don't even like doing this, Jamie, but you forced me into a corner. If we're looking at it factually, Mikel
The
Arteta,
facts are that Unai Emery's won way more trophies
he's
than
retained.
Arteta.
He's never won a Premier League title.
But he hasn't been at the club yet.
He was at Arsenal.
Arsenal were not in a position to win the Premier League.
No, they weren't in a position to win the Premier League when Mikel Arteta took over.
He's had 5 years.
Yeah. Unai Emery didn't get the 5 years because he got the tin
Give him
tack.
5 years and see.
He couldn't give him 5 years because he got the tin tack because he got battered by us in Baku. You can't give someone the first all-London European final ever. Unai Emery presides over it for Arsenal. They get absolutely embarrassed by Maurizio Sarri's Chelsea. He had to get sacked. You think Unai Emery? If you had to have one at
Unai Emery all day. All day long.
That's an Arsenal.
Wouldn't even be
That's a hostility to us.
No, there's no hostility towards
There's
Arsenal.
no way you're being rational.
No way in a million years is Arteta a better manager than Emery. No way.
In the same season, he's in the Champions League final, wins the league for the first time in 22 years at Arsenal. That's better than anything Unai Emery's ever done.
I disagree. Remember, we need your questions for Rory. Anything you can say. WhatsApp voice note 03717 223344. I might voice note myself, actually. Calling you.
Someone going to voice note. How'd you put up with that O'Hara for 3 hours a day? That's a great voice note. Someone send me that, please.
That little weasel.
Someone send me...
Doing my head in already. Not even 5 o'clock yet. Little weasel. What's going on, mate? You got
Big
Champions
players
League
come to
football.
Liverpool
You're
Club.
selling your best players. Absolute shambles.
The financial fair play rule.
No, bore off.
Can
No, you're not Spurs.
Can we put some concerts in your stadium?
Well, look, you dig me out all the time last season about Spurs and Beyonce this and Beyonce that.
Now it's helped you?
Yeah, mate, we got the money. We got the cash.
Yeah. Don't make me laugh.
You're selling Morgan Rogers.
We got no choice.
70 mil.
We got no choice.
You got Champions League football.
What can you do, though? If the rules say you have to sell, do you know what I mean? You have to sell.
You should be banned from the Champions League.
Okay, but
You should be banned.
Okay.
You sold Tillmans. You sold Morgan Rogers. Constance wants to leave. You can't sell your 3 best players and then expect to be in the Champions League. You should be kicked out.
We signed some very good players as well. Manzambi from what's funny? Manzambi, star, Swiss international at 20 years of age.
Yeah.
We've signed João Gomez from Wolves. Scored a fantastic goal the other night against Bayern Munich. He toe-poked it, Jamie, into the corner. It was fantastic.
Come on, mate.
Garnacho as well, point to prove.
Oh, do me a favour.
So, we'll be all right. We'll be all right, man.
Garnacho.
Well, we've got the best manager in the league.
No, I love Emery. But if you ain't careful, he'll leave.
Really?
Yeah, he'll leave.
Why?
Because he wants to win.
We won last season.
Yeah, I know, but
Europa
then you've
League.
sold your best players.
He'll understand the frustrating rules.
Mate,
He's
come
got
on.
owners. that wanna
Eventually,
spend.
he'll go, what like Eddie Howe's done with Newcastle, he'll go, no, I've had enough.
Isn't that what you want? And you're like your mob and like this so-called top 6 they call. You want that, don't
Big
you?
six.
You
Big
don't.
six.
You
Not
don't
top
want.
6, big 6.
But you don't want Villa and Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? Being a bit of a pain, do you? You want like you can't.
Oh,
Spend.
yeah, keep you there. Keep you there. You are listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hart, Rory, Jennings, in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Still to come. I asked Rory for his top 10 biggest clubs in the UK. Quickly, though, Memphis Depay has accused Corinthians of unacceptable behaviour, breaching an agreement after the Brazilian club decided against renewing his contract. I guess it's tough out there in Brazil. But now it's time for this.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yeah, time for today's bet builder of our friends Paddy Power. Welcome to Fern Buckley, and we're looking forward to tonight's Super Cup final in Austria. Aston Villa taking on PSG. All right, Fern?
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Look, obviously, just remind how this bet builder works for everyone.
Yep, of course. We all made some picks across different markets, added them all together, got some overall value. Then Paddy Powell have chucked a tenner on it, hoping we get it right. Because if we do, when we do, it goes to the Attitude Foundation. It helps out their charity.
Okay, amazing. So it's a 5-leg bet builder. Here are our picks. My pick's PSG to win. That's a pretty obvious one.
Yeah, I mean, it is the most popular pick on Paddy Power this afternoon as well, by the way. And obviously, definitive favourites, just simply down to their history and what's happened the last couple of years with the Champions League. So that is on Paddy Power this afternoon at 4-6.
That sounds good. I've gone for both teams to score, Fern. How's that one looking?
Well, yeah, because although a lot of people are saying PSG could win this match quite easily, they're going to have several major starters actually returning late from the World Cup, aren't they? Which might open things up a little bit, for Villa. And also, Villa have had both teams to scoreline in 4 of their last 5 pre-season friendlies. So that is in at 13-20, both teams scoring.
Okay, producer Billy's pick is over 3.5 goals. I think that's a decent pick.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand quite nicely with our both teams to score market. Plus, the last time these two played together in 2025, they're 2 head-to-heads in the Champions League. There were dramatic goals in that, both over 3.5 goals in those matches, a win for each. So could happen again. Maybe this is what happens when these two collide. These two teams come together. That's it at 7-4.
Yeah, and we've got a people's pick, Kravitz-Skelia, to have 1+ shots on target.
Yeah, over 1,000 people have this in their bet builder. And looking at the stats from last season, there's no surprise why. Registered 44 shots on target across League One and Champions League matches. So he is averaging over 1.5 shots on target per 90 minutes. So easily done for this bet builder. That's in a 1-3. He's also a super sub as well. So if for any reason he comes off, Paddy Power's going to protect your bet.
Okay, and Fern, what's your pick?
I've gone with John McGinn to be fouled twice or more. He's a magnet for drawing fouls. The way he shields the ball, works in those tight spaces. And last year he was fouled 43 times in 30 games. Spent the World Cup also getting fouled. 4 times against Brazil, 5 against Haiti. So I'm going with that. That's at 10-11.
Okay, and just confirm for us then the odds and insurance on that, please, Fern.
All comes in at 9.5-1. So from a £10 bet, you can get a return of about £105 tonight. And if we get it right, hopefully we do, kicking off the season well, all that money goes to the Attitude Foundation, who help out the LGBT community.
Okay, thanks, Fern. You're a star.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
All right, it's Paddy Power's bet builder for today. Minimum odds 1-5 per leg. 18 plus. Gambler.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Let's take a quick call. Dan, the Spurs fans, phone us up. Right, Dan?
Hello, mate. Yeah, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, Dan. I'm good. We were talking Spurs a little bit earlier on in the show. Go on, what do you want to say?
Good stuff. Not a first-time caller, but first-time speaking to you guys. Always a pleasure. I want to publicly apologise for that first Tottenham caller, because we're not all like that as Spurs fans. He had his head... I don't know where his head was, Jay.
Delusional.
We get a lot of stick, us Spurs fans, for being delusional, but we're not all like that, okay? But the second thing is you're worrying about us buying a left wing and a striker. We all have that concern, but we've got to sell players, Jay. I think we've got 30 squad players, and we've only registered 26 of them.
Well, Spencer's gone. Spencer's done. That looks like that's moments away from being 100% confirmed. So there's 30 million quid.
3 more players. Now, it's not about the money. I'm not worried about the money. It's the space. We've got to make space in our squad we can register for the Premier League.
Yeah, I know, but we've still got injuries, mate. People coming back from injury, and the problem is we finished 17th. It's hard to get rid of players, because they'll go old in a minute. You was part of that absolute debacle last season.
But if we go out and buy a left winger and a striker, so we're further over our limit, teams are going to know that, and they're going to go, well, Spurs have got to get rid of them. So we can go in there dirty cheap, because they want to get rid of them. So we've got to play it sensibly as well as... So I'm not worried just yet. If we're talking 30th of August and we're still in the same situation, yeah, I'm bricking it. But
I think we'll be all right. I think we're going to be all right. It's a building block, and this is the step forward that the club needed. And it might not happen overnight with De Zerbi, but I think give him time, give him the right transfer windows. I think we could be in a real good spot in a couple of seasons. Not yet, but I think we're going in the right direction. Dan, listen, thanks for your call. It's been booting off on the station today. Up next, Rory's going to give us his top 10 clubs. And we heard Max Scott not putting Chelsea and Spurs in a UK top 10, which is just outrageous. We're going to talk about that next.
History is going to repeat itself. No, I never go out on a limb and talk like this about Chelsea. I said Arsenal win the title for the last 3 seasons, and eventually they did. I'm going Chelsea. You Gooners, you should be fearful of Chelsea.
This is it, you see. He's been down the Wimpole clinic, and all of a sudden...
What has he been eating in the Maldives? That's what I want to know.
I don't think it's that.
Now,
Don't get me wrong.
What has he been smoking?
Do you know what it is?
He's talking absolute guff.
It's everything, no, Jay. It's everything combined.
Everything about him I hate already.
This is...
His hair, his tan...
His hair. Yeah, no,
the nonsense he's coming out with early doors. Like, he's been back for one show, and he's come back and said, Chelsea are going to win the title.
Yeah, people go away. Right, I think people, as soon as you put a bit of hair back on someone's head, and look, let's be fair, that is a beautiful transplant, right? It's up there. When you think about footballers that have had transplants.
Do you know what, mate? I've seen signs.
It's good, isn't it?
It's all right.
It's a good transplant.
It's not bad.
And I think he's now. Yeah, he's definitely died.
He's definitely
died.
Yeah, he's
definitely died. Of course he has. But he's now just like a new man. He's got this sort of housewife's favourite thing going on. He knows that his sex appeal's back. He knows. I can tell. He's sitting there. He's obviously been in the gym when he's been in the Maldives. He's got himself a bit of colour. He's got the beautiful barnet now.
Bit of a dilf.
This is it. Yeah. And then I was talking about him being the housewife's favourite, and he said something like this. You know what he said to me? He went, the problem is, if you are the housewife's favourite, it's generally the older girls. You don't really necessarily want the old. I went, you happy to be the old? Do you like the older girls? He went, no, not really.
From the Toffees to the Tractor Boys, the Eagles to the Seagulls, Gunners, Bees, Hammers and Magpies, Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were 2 local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire is also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves 2 club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell, and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles," and some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story, though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
You are listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hara, Rory, Jennings. Still
Cool
to come.
power,
We're going to be
mate.
hearing
Bicep curls.
Question that throws me off every time. We've got WhatsApp Rory. Get your calls in on that. 03717 223344. Ask him anything you want. Now, though, who are the top 10 biggest clubs in the UK?
Man United and Liverpool joint first for me. Celtic are third, followed by Arsenal in fourth. Nottingham Forest are fifth. Sixth, Aston Villa. Seventh, Everton. Eighth, Newcastle United. 9, Rangers. And 10th, Manchester City.
Yeah, talkSPORT's Matt Scott, the guy you just heard doing the news there, talking absolute guff because he rattled some cages this morning on breakfast. He listed off the top 10 biggest clubs in the UK. He said Chelsea cheated their way to success, can't be in the top 10, and Spurs have never won a Champions League. So, and he's put them, he's not even in the top 10. They finished 17th for 2 seasons in a row. I think he needs to remember that Nottingham Forest ain't been in the Premier League for about 15 seasons. So, anyway, Rory, we've asked you to do your top 10. What did you make just on Matt Scott's Chelsea not being in the top 10?
Yeah, I mean, look, before we get into this, I think it's important that I just establish something very quickly. Matt Scott is my friend.
Yeah.
He's somebody who I rate incredibly highly. I think he's got a huge future, and I like him. It is one of the worst things I've ever heard in my entire life, though. All of that being said, now, I think we can just go for the jugular, be completely honest.
Yeah.
It gave me a migraine.
Yeah.
I feel like listening to that list, I've lost IQ points. Having heard that, I'm now thicker because it is the worst list I've ever heard of anything.
No, it's some bad takes on talkSPORT, and we're all likely to come out with some nonsense every now and then. And
you are. Speak for yourself.
No,
Jamie.
you
Speak
are
for
as
yourself.
well.
No, speak for
and you
yourself.
know, you can back your argument. But when I heard Bill sent me the list, and I just was just like,
yeah, everything about the list, everything about the list was wrong.
There's clickbait, and then there's just you're talking absolute. Yeah,
it's
ridiculous guff.
It's lunacy. It's like, should Matt Scott be reading the news, being on talkSPORT, or should he be in Broadmoor?
Yeah.
It's that kind of conversation.
Yeah, I think it's a fine.
I think it's a fine. I think it's a financial
nearly
penalty.
a straight red card.
Yeah, it's a financial penalty. I completely agree. Yeah. I think that it's one of the worst things I've ever heard. Like I say, I now have a permanent migraine. You know, that kind of tinniness going on in my ears because I had the misfortune of hearing that list. That's how painful it was.
But Nottingham Forest fifth.
To put Nottingham Forest fifth biggest club in the country is wild. Do you know the other thing? To sit on the fence and not separate Liverpool and Manchester United was cowardly.
Sums him up.
Cowardly.
Yeah.
He didn't want to upset the big boys. He didn't. So he went, those two can be number 1 and 2, and it's up to you however you see it.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't even put his neck on the line with
Bottled
the biggest. Totally bottled it.
Yeah.
And then where did it go? Where did he have Man City at 10?
As soon as he said fifth, I just lost interest.
Yeah, no, it was one of the wildest lists.
City at 10th, apparently.
I'm pretty sure that I've got this list. I've done it without any bias, without any tribalism. I really have given.
I mean, what's your list then?
Right, in 10th, the 10th biggest club in the country is Leeds United.
Okay.
I think Leeds are a huge club, huge history, huge support base. They were robbed of a European Cup. You know all the talk about European Cups. I think it was 75. They played Bayern Munich. They were robbed. The referee that refereed that day never refereed again. Leeds United should have won a European Cup, and had they, the conversation would be very different. Chelsea, I'm a Chelsea fan. We have no love with Leeds United whatsoever, but I'm aware of what they mean in football. I'm aware of the support. I'm aware of the history. We sing about Leeds every week. They're one of our biggest rivals and always will be. So I've got Leeds United in 10th. In 9th, I've got Everton. They could have been higher. It's just they've gone so long without a trophy. Like they haven't won a trophy since Paul Rideout in 1995. It's just
mainstay in the Premier League, though.
Mainstay of the Premier League. Like, look, if we were a decade older, Jamie, we'd know them only as a club that were winning league titles. And it's just gone so wrong.
Yeah.
It's gone so wrong, so recent. But historically, I've gone Everton in 9th, and I feel like they are so primed, in the way Leeds United are, so primed and ready to become a super club again. In 8th, and I found it quite tough here, but in 8th, I've gone Tottenham.
8th?
Yeah, I've just so you know, I've included the 2 Glaswegian clubs at some point. So it's not only Premier League. I was told to include the 2 Glaswegian.
Okay, go on. Give me your reasons.
Tottenham in 8th?
Yeah.
I think Tottenham are a huge club. Everybody knows that I have a lot of antipathy towards Tottenham and I never wish them well. But I would never deny that they have a massive support. I would never deny that they have a massive history. They're the first team to have ever won the double. They very recently beat Manchester United in a European final.
Yeah.
The scale of the club is never in doubt. The size of the club, the size of what Tottenham mean. I don't think
them in 8th.
Well, I've got them in 8th. Yeah. Okay. Next up, I've got Aston Villa. And
what?
I've got Villa in 8th. This could have been the other way around. Aston Villa and
You can't
Tottenham.
say Aston Villa are a bigger club than Tottenham.
I think you can.
No, you can't.
I think Aston.
Come on.
I don't think there's much between the two. Even if you think I'm wrong, I don't think there's much between the two. Aston Villa are an enormous club. You think about what they did in the Quip Stadium in 1982, like winning a European Cup, beating Bayern Munich in a final. What happened there in Holland is
the Spurs have never been relegated from the Premier League.
No, that's true. But they've also never won a European Cup in the way that Aston Villa have. When the whole end. No, what?
We've won the European Cup.
No, there's a huge difference between the European Cup and a European Cup. Chelsea won a European Cup last year, and it was one of the most insignificant days in our history. There is a level to the game, my friend. And what
there's a reason why we're a big 6.
No, you are big. I'm not.
There's a reason why that is.
You would be big 6 if I didn't. Remember, I've got the 2 Glaswegians.
Yeah, I know, but you've annoyed me because you put Aston Villa above Tottenham, which is just an outrageous statement. I'm not disagreeing that Aston Villa are a big football club, and they are. But Tottenham are on another level.
Okay,
Tottenham are on another level.
If you were to convince me, just really succinctly, tell me why, in your opinion, Tottenham are bigger than Villa.
Because we're one of the biggest talking points in football every single week. Who's Chelsea's biggest rival?
Because you were nearly going down.
Who's Chelsea's biggest rival?
Tottenham.
Who's Arsenal's biggest rival?
Tottenham. Yeah, people don't like you. I don't know if you can use that as people don't like
rivals.
You. I don't like Tottenham.
Everyone talks about Tottenham. We are a big 6 football club.
But if we were I'm a Chelsea fan and we're Londoners, so naturally we're going to do this. If you were having this conversation in Birmingham, and you went to a Wolves fan, who's your biggest rival? They're not going to say Villa, but they're going to talk about Villa. If you said to a Birmingham,
everyone talks about Tottenham. It's a huge talking point every single season.
I don't think there's much
all over the world.
I don't in terms of stature, size.
Aston Villa are a big football club, and listen, I'm a massive fan of Villa, right? But you can't put them on the same scale as Tottenham in terms of size, in terms of where the 2 football clubs have gone. Aston Villa can't spend any money. Aston Villa selling their best players.
You have a bigger stadium. You have
it's not just about
stadium, the benefit of London.
It's not just about stadium.
No, Tottenham can house Beyonce. Tottenham can house Beyonce.
Over the last 25 years, in terms of the Premier League, Spurs are a huge football club. That is why we are amongst the elite in terms of top 6. And whether you like it or not, and whether we finish 17th or whatever, and there's arguments to how we've performed in the last few seasons, Tottenham are still the big 6.
Yeah, I agree. They are the big 6.
All right, we'll put them in your 6.
No, I agree. Tottenham are big, but what you're talking to me about here, Jay, isn't really fair on Villa because you're talking to me about things that are almost unquantifiable. You're telling me that you can house Beyonce and NFL teams want to play at your stadium. That's because of your proximity to central London. That's because of the Victoria line. That's not because of football. I'm talking about footballing reasons. I'm talking about winning the European Cup in the Quip Stadium. I'm talking about Peter Wythe winning Aston Villa European Cup. I'm talking about the whole end rocking like it did in 1982. You're talking to me about Beyonce.
I'm not talking to you about Beyonce.
You are.
I've not mentioned Beyonce once.
No, you are.
No, I've not mentioned Beyonce. Everyone brings up Beyonce, right? Just because Beyonce performs at our stadium, right?
Yeah. No, all my single ladies is a banger.
It's just jealousy all over the country, 24/7. It's just jealousy. Yeah, I'm on both. Yeah, everywhere, and I can't get rid of it. But look, I'm on Sky.
But look, I honestly think Villa are big. But look, I also kind of concede that there's not much in it. So in 7, I went Villa.
Why everyone hates Tottenham? Like everyone's got this jealousy for Tottenham.
In 8th, Tottenham. In 7,
Okay, go on. Carry on.
Aston Villa.
Yeah, go on.
In 6, Chelsea. So again, I haven't been biased. I've put us in 6th. You happy with that? Above Tottenham, above Villa, and below some of the obvious contenders. I don't think I've been biased here at all.
If you're going on,
I'm the very opposite of Max Scott.
Okay, but you're going on like historical events, right? If you keep mentioning historically and you put Aston Villa historically, all right. Well, who were Chelsea 50 years ago? Like they were just a bit part football club, bang average. Tottenham are a way bigger club than Chelsea until Roman Abramovich come along and turned you into a major force.
I mean, if you want to,
and that's fine.
I don't think that's again. I don't think it tells a full story. How many Tottenham have won the league? How many times ever?
I don't know.
Right. So Chelsea prior to Abramovich had won it once.
Who's a bigger club prior to Roman Abramovich?
So what date? When would you say? So the night.
When did Roman Abramovich take over at Chelsea?
He took over 03.
Okay, who's a bigger club then?
Around in 03, I don't think there was much between us.
Historically, from that point.
In 03, there wasn't much between us. If you look at the 10 years prior to Roman Abramovich taking over at Chelsea, we won more than you've won since then to now. In the 10 years prior, let's go Ken Bates' last 10 years. Jay, this isn't wild. Ken Bates, the last 10 years at Chelsea. So you go from 1993 until 2003. We won more than you have ever won in the Premier League era.
Okay, I'm talking about historically though, from before Roman. Because listen, I'm with you on the fact that Chelsea are now
bigger than Tottenham
in terms of what they've done in the last 20 years and what they've won. You know, Champions Leagues and league titles. You have to say they're a bigger club than Tottenham.
Okay, but let's just analyse.
If you're going off history, because you keep mentioning history,
we can do that. We can look at it. The 10 years.
Tottenham are way bigger.
Okay, let's look at it just Premier League era. Let's look at it just Premier League era prior to Abramovich. You couldn't beat us ever. We beat you 4-0 twice.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about our head-to-head.
No, but we won more than you in that period as well. We've won more than you Premier League period. In the Premier League era, we were winning the FA Cup in 1997.
Make your mind up. Are we doing it off history or are we doing it off Premier League era?
Off everything.
What are you doing it off?
I'm doing it off everything.
Right, well, give me the rest.
Let's have a think about what happened prior to Abramovich. What about beating you 4-0 twice in 3 days? We beat you 4-0 twice in 3 days.
I don't care.
We beat you 6-1 at the Lane. Torre Andre Flo scoring a hat-trick.
Right, I'll tell you what, right? I'll go look through the archives of Tottenham Chelsea games, right, before Roman Abramovich.
Good luck finding a Tottenham win.
And I don't care what you say, and you can sit there with your little weasel head on, right? And sit here and give me absolute nonsense 24/7.
I don't think any of it's nonsense.
Spurs are a bigger club than Chelsea before Roman Abramovich took over. Roman Abramovich propelled you to stardom, right? And that's fine, right? You have to accept it, right? You've still got the shed end as your ground, right? Mm-hmm. It's called a shed end, right? We've got one of the best stadiums.
A shelf? As if
we've got one of the biggest stadiums, best stadiums in the world, right?
Suitable
and everyone
for
hates it, and everyone's jealous about it. But I'm fine. I'll accept that Chelsea are a bigger club now.
So we agree. And also, if you want to make it like totally, you're looking at our track record.
Get on with it.
Our track record in Europe compared to yours is
That's fine.
Right, in 5th I've got Celtic.
Number 5.
In 5th I've got Celtic. In 4th I've got Glasgow
4.
Rangers. In 3rd,
Number 3.
Arsenal.
Number 2.
Liverpool.
Number 1.
Manchester United.
Hold on. There's no Man City.
Man City aren't one of the biggest clubs in the country. They're one of the most successful, one of the most relevant, but they're not one of the biggest clubs in the country. That's, again, not controversial. Manchester City are not a bigger club than Leeds. They're a better team.
Mate.
They're more relevant.
Right, listen to me.
Manchester City aren't a bigger club than Sheffield Wednesday.
Rory, shut up. Right, seriously, what are you on about? Chelsea have done exactly the same as what Manchester City have done. All right? Success through building and winning through money, through getting a billionaire into the football club. You can't sit here and then say Chelsea are one of the biggest clubs in the UK and then not put Manchester City in it, who have been more successful than Chelsea.
Not when Roman Abramovich took over at Chelsea, Chelsea were a Champions League team.
Oh, mate, shut up. What are you on about?
We were already a Champions League team when he took over.
Rory,
we won.
You can't put
in
Chelsea in it.
We won the Cup Winners' Cup in Stockholm.
You can't put Chelsea in a top 10, all right, if you're not going to put Manchester City in.
What had Manchester City won prior to the takeover in the Premier League era? What had Chelsea won in the Premier League era? We won League Cups, FA Cups, Super Cups against Real Madrid, Cup Winners' Cups in order to get into the Super Cup. We won the last FA Cup at the old Wembley. We won the first FA Cup at the new Wembley.
Honestly, I hate Chelsea fans.
I can't understand how...
You lot, honestly, you cannot help yourself.
Do you honestly think that Man City...
It's worse than Max Scott.
No.
It's a worse take than Max Scott.
Do you honestly think that Manchester City are a bigger club than Everton and Leeds? Tottenham.
Manchester City.
And Manchester City a big club in Tottenham.
In terms of what they've done over the last 25 years, you can't just erase because you go, oh, we look at history. I mean, you've put Chelsea in it.
Over the last how long?
Well, in the last 20 years.
City.
Manchester City, what have they done? All right.
Yeah. Look.
How many league titles they won?
Yeah, it's a decade, isn't it? They've had a brilliant decade.
We can't count that. That doesn't count.
No, but Jay,
doesn't count the fact they've won the treble.
I'm not contesting that Manchester City are a wonderful football team. I'm not contesting that it's probably the greatest football team of the Premier League era. I'm not even arguing that the 4 in a row, the Centurions, the treble.
It doesn't matter. That don't count.
It doesn't make them a big club. It makes them a brilliant football team.
Same as Chelsea.
No, because Chelsea.
Same as Chelsea.
Chelsea had so much more going on prior to the takeover.
I disagree, mate. I totally disagree. You can't do it.
Who's a bigger club, Man City or Tottenham?
I would. You'd have to say Man City.
What? Because it suits your argument at this very moment?
No, because Manchester City are multiple Premier League winners, Champions League winners. Like they've won everything.
But that's a successful football team, not a big club. If Milton Keynes Dons suddenly had a load of money and won a load of silverware, it'd make them a successful football team. Like
they've done it over a sustained period of time.
Manchester City are Blackburn Rovers.
Built now a massive football.
Manchester City are Blackburn Rovers. They're just better at football than Blackburn Rovers, aren't they? I can't believe that you've just said that Man City are bigger than Tottenham, because even I don't think that. They're just a better team.
Honestly,
Matt Scott's called all sorts of dramas.
These top tens are just a complete joke. They really are. It really is. You can have your say in it. Give us a call. I've had enough. Honestly, I've had enough. 03717 223344.
talkSPORT reporter Max Scott has sent the callers crazy. He has done his top 10 clubs in Britain. Have a listen if you missed it. The highlights of it are there is no Chelsea and Tottenham in the top 10. Celtic are above Arsenal. Forest are 5th above Villa in 6th. No Rangers. So let's head to the phone lines now and get your thoughts on 03717 223344. Clive is a Chelsea fan, and before we say it in Clive, Chelsea is a big club for me, a big, big club. Morning, Clive.
Morning, Clive.
Morning. This guy's an idiot. I mean, he's going back saying about Brian Clough and Forest. Yeah, that's what they won then. But if you go back, he's saying, I mean, I'm a Chelsea supporter and they're a big club. But saying Man City weren't big before now is ridiculous. You remember Man City in the 60s, Franny Lee, Mike Summerby, they were a big
Colin
club.
Bell.
Always a big club.
Colin Bell, yeah.
What a player. What a player. You know what I'm saying? He's picking a little bit of history. You can't say Forest are in the top 10 clubs.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, when I think of Clive, when I think of big clubs, I think of support, travelling support.
Yeah,
you know,
precisely.
being up there with great players and challenging Europe. Maybe not necessarily winning it, but you know, they're big clubs to me.
That's right. Yeah, big clubs. Man City's always been a big club. Chelsea's always been a big club.
You are listening to Drive and Talk Sport. Me, Jamie Hart, Rory Jennings, in partnership with Giacomo Style and Brands for every man. I love when we talk about Spurs. Beyonce always comes out. It's an absolute disgrace, right? We've got Jay-Z performing there as well, right? They just give it out for the big hitters.
Husband and wife.
Yeah, we've got the big hitters rocking up to our ground every single month.
Big celebrities. Very few.
Jamiroquai.
Big celebrities.
Travis Scott. Name them all.
Name the big footballers.
Yeah, maybe they're not there right now, but Spurs are a huge club. You can have your say on this. 03 717 22 33 44. Yeah, Rory didn't put Man City in a top 10, which I find outrageous. Let's go to Tony. He's a Man City fan, right, Tone?
Hello, mate. You all right?
I'm all right, Tone. I'm all right. Look, he's digging you lot out, saying you're not a big club.
Well, I've got one question for him. Which club has the highest attendance outside of Wembley in England?
Tell me, Tone.
I think you'll find it's Manchester City FC.
Oh, there we go.
Huge club.
84,000 FA Cup against Stoke.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if that. Yeah, look, listen. I think you're a massive football club. I think you've got a huge fan base in Manchester, all over the world, and where you've even before the owners come in, you were still a big club. And all right, you've gone to extreme levels now. To say they're not a top 10 in the UK is just.
They're an amazing football team.
But they're also an amazing football club.
What do you think they're a bigger club than? So who's a bigger club, Tottenham or Man City?
I answered that question for you.
Okay, who's a bigger club, Leeds United or Man City?
Man City, mate. Come on.
Bigger than Leeds.
Leeds ain't been in the Premier League for they had 14 seasons out of it.
Man City had their time in the.
Tony, you phoned us. Tell this man for crying out loud.
There's one thing that none of them clubs have done. They've never won the first division one season and then got relegated in the next one. Being a City fans are an absolute roller coaster. It's brilliant, and we are a bigger club than Leeds.
Well, you won a treble. I mean, like, there's only two teams that have ever done it.
There's only one team in Leeds, right? We have to compete with the other lot across in Cheshire.
They are the biggest club in England.
Yeah, of course. Look, I just don't see Man City like this. When I was growing up, Manchester City, I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect for the Kipaks, a lot of respect for the inflatable bananas thing that they do, a lot of respect for the history of the club. I loved that team when I was young, that Georgie Kincladze team. Like, one of the best videos I've ever had was Noel Gallagher playing Main Road. I loved it, right? It was a Familiar to Millions tour. It's a great club with great history. But they aren't big. They aren't.
But they are big.
No, they're brilliant. They're brilliant, and they are making history now. They are breaking records. But Manchester City aren't a big club in the traditional sense of the word. Leeds United are a big club in the traditional sense. Tottenham are. Aston Villa are.
I don't think you can put Leeds United and Manchester City in the same bracket. Like, I don't think you can. I get it, man. Like, Leeds are a big football club. Sheffield Wednesday are a big football
Wednesday
club.
are a huge club. Sunderland are a huge club.
Manchester City, now, you have to say that they are one of the biggest clubs in the world.
In the world?
They are!
No. Can you see the difference between these two words? A big club and a successful club.
Yes, I understand.
A big club and a relevant club.
I know.
Manchester City are winning European Cups. Some of the best players in the world play for them. It makes them relevant and successful. It doesn't make them big. You can be in the third tier and be big in the way that Leeds United were in the second tier and big. You can be in the Nottingham Forest. They have a place in this conversation. They're nowhere near as big as Matt Scott thought they were. But yeah, they've got prestige. They've got foothold. But they.
Nottingham Forest. I mean, you haven't put Nottingham Forest in it.
Nottingham Forest are nowhere near the top 10 in the country. Of course they're not. Of course they're not. But there is a place for them in a conversation. They're nowhere near the top 10. But
good with Clough.
Yeah, but that's all it was. They've won the FA Cup once in 130 years. They're not. They've had an amazing period, and the story. Like, everyone talks about Leicester's story. The story of Nottingham Forest is amazing. They get promoted. They win the league. They go into the European Cup. They win the European Cup. They go into the European Cup as holders. They win that. They retain it. They're the only team, I think, in Europe to have won the European Cup more often than they've won their domestic league. But that's it. That's the end of the story. It only exists there. That's all they've achieved. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing story. Possibly the best sporting story I've ever heard. And I like Forest as well. I do a lot of England away games. Forest travel really well. But that's the end of the story. They then spent 25 years out of the top flight. So they can't be in the top 10. He's gone fifth. He's gone fifth.
Yeah, fifth's outrageous.
Yeah, fifth is outrageous.
All right, look, we've got a break, but keep your calls coming in. Phone lines have gone a bit crazy, so we'll try and squeeze you on. 03717 22 33 44.
Who's winning the title?
Don't know. I don't know. I want to know what you think of this because I haven't got a clue. I really haven't. I think it's one of the most hardest calls to make we've had in recent years.
The thing is about Manchester City, I wonder without Pep how different it'll be.
Yeah, and if they lose Rodri.
Exactly. You wonder what it's going to be like,
Yeah.
but then you never write them off. Arsenal, I think, look like the most complete team.
Gabriel injured though for
This is
5
true,
months.
For 5 months.
And Trossard going out. I don't like the Trossard sale. I really don't. I think he's such a big, influential player for them. I can't believe they've sold him.
I know, but then Guimaraes came on in.
Big signing. Like him a lot.
But then I also look at Manchester United and I wonder, but Chelsea, I think, Jason's right. I
Yeah.
don't think we should be sleeping on it at all.
No. We could have a 5 or 6 horse race this season. That would be incredible. It really would. I don't want to see somebody run away with it.
Go on then, though. But Jason looked down the camera and delivered that it will be Chelsea.
I know.
So who is it, Ben? Put your neck on the line.
I'm going to say Man United. I do. I think Man United. I think the last season's form has set into motion a style of play and an expectation of what them players have to deliver week in, week out for Manchester United.
But they've got Champions League. They're back in Champions League.
They're back in Champions League.
I think they've got enough.
I think if they can add another one or two, Man United are definitely within a shout. But they need to add 1 or 2 big uns. But the problem nowadays is if you're going to add 1 or 2 big uns, then it's 200 million quid.
Mhm.
Liverpool need a couple big uns.
However, I mean, we do know that Manchester United look like they have something left to spend.
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
You are listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Gemma, Rory, Jennings, still to be come on the show. We're going to ask, what's next for Paul Pogba? It looks like he's leaving Monaco. Could he still do it in the Premier League? We're taking calls because it's been booting off a little bit, actually. Rory reckons City aren't a big club. They're just a successful club. Who makes the top 10 in the UK? We've been having that chat. We've got some calls. Let's go to Marcus. He's a Spurs fan. All right, Marcus.
Oh, guys, great debate. Lovely debate.
Thank
you. I hate this debate, I'll be honest, but it always seems to come around.
Well, in my opinion, right, Tottenham, this breaks my heart. So cover your ears, Jamie, but we ain't really a big club, are we, right? For me, my definition of big club, do you win or compete for the big title, Premier title, First Division champions or whatever? Do you compete and win the Champions League? Big trophy. Big club win big trophies. We can't even get our hands on a domestic cup like a Carabao Cup or FA Cup.
Do you know what, Marcus? It's not the only metric. Look, silverware is.
Surely it's got to be trophies won by that big club.
To a degree, maybe. To a degree, but you don't have to.
It can't be worldwide fan base and things like that. No, for the average fan, every fan. Yeah, of course, in your history, you can take your history, but if you look at the Prem, there's only been 5 teams. 2 from Manchester, 2 from London, 1 from Merseyside that won the Prem title. Forget Leicester, that was a one-off, right? So if anything, there's only 5 big teams in the Prem anyway, because they've won the title, the big title, and competed in the Champions League on a regular basis. Minus Arsenal, who have been 2 finals, 2 defeats, but they've always been consistently challenging for the title. Now, you can talk about Forest winning a cup in the 80s and Leeds getting to a final in the 70s. Okay, but what have they done since? You can't be living on memories of your granddad.
But Tottenham have been a mainstay in the Premier League. We've competed in Europe, I think, 20 times out of 25 seasons or something. We've been in Europe.
Everton have been a mainstay. Everton have been a mainstay in the Premier League.
Everton are a massive football club.
Right, but you think Everton are still cling on to their glory days of the 80s when they won the titles in the 80s, FA Cups, and since then nothing.
Yeah, but that propels them into a huge football club, which they are.
And but if you go on a 10-year period, which is the career of most players,
you can't just look back on 10 years though, Marcus.
All right, but you've got to go bit by bit. So 2026 to 2016, there's going to be like 4 Prem title winners, right? Then you go 2016 to 2006. How many Prem winners? Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea.
No, but the Premier League is.
If you go back to the First Division, if that's what you want, Tottenham, we won the league in 1961. We were the first team to do the double, and guess what? Guess how many teams have done a double since 1961 and a treble for that now, right? So we can say, oh, we're a big club, so we've done this in the 60s. Well, growing up as a kid in the 70s and 80s, we had no league success. We were FA Cup, UEFA Cup in '84.
No, but right? Marcus, there's more than one. If you factor in all the metrics, look, the one that you're talking about, silverware, is probably the most significant. It's probably the one that people will focus on, which is why people think Man City are big.
It's the only one I go by.
It's not but that's fine for your definition. But that isn't the only definition. That isn't the only thing to factor in.
What we're going to do crowd size.
I think Everton and Leeds. Everton and Leeds are clearly some of the biggest clubs in the country. They haven't won a trophy since.
Leeds haven't done nothing since the 70s, the Don Revie era.
That's the point, and yet they're still considered. One of the biggest clubs in the country.
All right, based on I think was it Wilkinson? Guy Wilkinson won the league title with Leeds back in the 90s.
Howard,
yeah, Wilkinson and with
Howard Wilkinson. It was the last pre-Premier League. Yeah.
Right. Have they won it since?
No, they haven't. I think they were. It's almost. I think the point that we're making here is we kind of agree with you, or I'll just speak for me rather than me and Jamie. I agree with you when you're factoring in what defines a big club. Yeah. The silverware metric is incredibly significant.
It's important.
But it isn't the only one. Everton haven't won a trophy since Paul Rideout at Wembley, 1995. Right. They haven't won a trophy since 1995. But you would be a fool to suggest that Everton aren't one of the biggest clubs in the country.
When you start bringing in a top 10, you might include Everton. But if you go by the first, how many winners of the Prem, how many winners of the old First Division?
Okay, well, that's top 5.
I've gone for the First Division as well. You want to start talking about overall titles, and Everton First Division title winners back in the 80s. Leeds title winners.
Marcus, all right, listen, thanks for your call. I'm going to go to Stuart. He's a United fan. Stu?
I think that's me, Jamie, but I'm not a United fan.
I've got a United. Who are you?
Sound like one.
I'm actually a Leighton Orient fan. I live in East London, but I work in RBKC. I work in Kensington and Chelsea.
Right, okay, go on.
And I just wanted to ask Rory a question.
Yes,
how
sir.
How can a team be top 6 in the big club index
if last season they didn't sell out one single game at Stamford Bridge.
But not selling out isn't, again, it's not the only metric. But also, I'm quite proud of Chelsea not selling out last year. What was happening at the club, what the ownership were doing to the club, what the ownership did in terms of like the corporate areas, pulling tickets away from normal areas of the ground, normal season ticket holders, trying to repurpose normal season ticket holders' tickets and redefining them as corporate and adding, on certain occasions, over 60% onto the price of the ticket. It was actually something glorious about not selling out. I was honoured that the club didn't sell out. You also got to factor in, at various points we were playing the likes of Shamrock Rovers and a team that I'd never heard of in the Conference League.
Good team, Shamrock.
Yeah. So there were reasons as to why the club didn't sell out.
But there's always reasons. If you look at West Ham, I'm not a West Ham fan, but they've sold in excess of 50,000 season tickets for the upcoming EFL season that they find themselves in.
But I mean,
for most of my life, Chelsea were Norwich City, up for a season, down for 2 seasons, win the Championship or the second division every so often. Then you had that period in the 90s where you won a couple of FA Cups, a Cup Winners' Cup.
I mean, I don't know how old you are, but it's very unlikely that you weren't alive where Chelsea have been champions. Chelsea were champions in 1955. Presumably, you're younger than that.
I am.
So Norwich City were champions when?
I'm 51.
And when were Norwich City champions?
In the Premier League or the First Division, they've never been champions.
Right. So when you said Chelsea were Norwich City, Chelsea were champions in 55. We won a European trophy before Liverpool won a European trophy. We won the FA Cup, the most watched FA Cup final of all time in 1970. So when you compare Chelsea to Norwich, just explain to me how it works.
Well, just because you were regular, perennial up and downers, you were a yo-yo.
Right, but Chelsea were champions. Chelsea were champions in 55. Norwich were champions.
I don't think we can compare Norwich to Chelsea.
Right, there we go.
51. I think you're right, because I think Norwich generally sell out Carrow Road.
Stu, do you not think Chelsea are a big club?
Absolutely, they're a massive club, but they're a massive club because of an influx of money. My point about Norwich City is a little bit crass, but the point I'm making is Chelsea, for half of my life, were a club that were up and down. They were like a Burnley or an Ipswich or a Norwich. A little bit of a crass comparison. But the massive influx and the 19 trophies in 20 years came with Abramovich's money via Russia, and that's what made Chelsea
But if you analyse Chelsea in the 10 years prior to that, we won more than Tottenham have won in the Premier League. We won more in the 10 years prior to Abramovich than Tottenham have ever won.
Why are you talking about?
Because you said that Tottenham are a big club.
It's a West Ham.
It's a West Ham are a big club.
West Ham are a big club.
Also, the not selling out thing. John, Stuart, do you think Man City are a big club?
Listen, Rory, you know as well as I do, in the 80s and the 90s, you could throw a brick in the air in Stamford Bridge and you wouldn't hit a Chelsea fan.
What, in the 90s? In the 90s? In the 90s when? In 1997 when we were winning the FA Cup? In 1998 when we were winning the League Cup? 1998 when we were beating Real Madrid in the European final?
92, 93, early 90s.
Sorry, you said the 90s. I've given you some dates from the 90s, and it seems to be dates that coincide with Chelsea winning silverware both domestically and in Europe.
Okay, well, I'll counter your 90s with early 90s then. I'll be a little bit more specific.
When we made it to an FA Cup final in 1994? Did you win?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Your record in finals is amazing, and Drogba's record alone in finals is amazing for me.
Yeah, Drogba, Roberto Di Matteo's prior to Abramovich. Roberto Di Matteo's record, David Webb's record in 1970 was also pretty good.
Yeah, but Bobby Tamblyn as well, absolutely amazing.
Good player, Bobby Tamblyn, Stu.
Yeah. Bobby Tamblyn was good.
I'm not doubting Chelsea's credentials. I don't think they're sixth in the list if you look around other clubs in London and other clubs in the country, just because the last 20 years and a massive influx of unregulated spending. You had bollards in the car park at Stamford Bridge that were sponsoring your club to the tune of 30 grand a bollard. That's how crooked it was. And, you know, if that's the way you want to win trophies, absolutely happy days.
Stu, listen, mate, thanks for your call. I'm going to go to Darren. He's a Spurs fan. Daz?
Hi.
All right, Daz, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just listening to this lunacy where people think certain clubs are bigger than others. First of all, there's a couple of points I want to say.
Go on.
Regarding Forest and Leeds, they're not big clubs. If you look on their following on social media, they have very poor following. So do Celtic, so do Rangers.
Well, that's the end of that then. We were wrong.
As for Spurs being a big club, we are a big club, but we are a big club in terms of cup team. We won 8 cups, and we always used to think we would win one when the year ends in one. We are a big club in terms of the cup. We value the cup at one point more than most clubs. But regarding Chelsea, they're manufactured. Regarding Man City, they're the second most followed team in the Premier League after Man United. They are more.
Why do you keep talking about Instagram, mate?
You can't talk about
Why do
social
you keep talking
media
about
like
Instagram?
followers.
What's that?
like-
What's that got to do?
Because I'm just saying, if you're talking about world following,
No, I'm not talking about world following. I'm not. You are. You keep talking about Instagram. No one cares about Instagram.
They are a big club.
Get off
What about
the
when they're
phone. Get off the phone. Go to stadiums. You don't need. Why is it all? Why are we talking about Instagram? This is a football. We're talking about football.
Stadiums. I go to Tottenham.
Right. So why are you talking about Instagram to me?
Because I'm just trying to say to you, not everyone can go to the games, and it's how you reach other parts of the world. And to turn around and say Man City aren't a big club, look at all their fans that went to their ground when they got relegated. Look how they.
So your reasoning for Glasgow Rangers. So Glasgow Rangers aren't a big club because they don't have a lot of followers on Instagram.
No, my reason for them they're not a big club in terms of being a big club is because they are not world renowned as a club. It's fact.
When you say they're not world renowned, we're basing that on their following on Instagram.
We base them based on being British and born in Britain. They're a big club to us. But if you ask,
you don't think Celtic? You don't think
Rangers
Celtic
and
are world
Celtic are
renowned?
huge all over the world, Daz. Like they got following everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they have fanfares. They have fan pubs. I've been all over the world. I've seen Rangers pubs.
I've seen it, but they come from Scottish descent, and that's how they get into it.
So what do you mean?
What does that matter?
Because they have a following to it. They already have a following to it. They probably brought it into when they were kids and stuff like that.
But that's why they're a huge club.
Darren,
all over the
It's
world.
not. If you look at
Darren's giving me a migraine, man.
It isn't just about success. It's not just about.
Oh, it's certainly
how
not
we
just about
follow the
Instagram
club.
followers either. It's the least important metric in judging this.
Daz, listen, mate. Thanks for your call. I feel like we need to move on from this because it is a debate that everyone keeps going on about, and there's a lot of big football clubs out there, but there's also a lot of clubs who think they're big and maybe they're not as big as they are, like Max Scott's Nottingham Forest. Up next, best of talkSPORT. Honestly, I've seen a few messages today and you go, yeah, that O'Hara and Gabby, they're talking rubbish, need to get rid of them. You know, Rory talks sense. I'm like, having a laugh.
Yeah, that was me. That was me saying that. Yeah. I've been commenting. I've been, God, those two have been terrible. Look at those two giggling away.
Brennan Johnson, listen, fair play to him. He had a little bite. And that's fine. Got no problem with a player having a bite back because it's all part and parcel of working in the media, being a footballer. You're going to take criticism. He obviously didn't like the fact that we said it was crap for crap. What he didn't realise, and I'm sure...
That's weird of him, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously he's not going to like that. But, it was only a bit of a laugh. But, I get it. People are going to... You get the ump with things. I've been called crap plenty of times. Get called crap every single day of the week. Don't take it personal. All right? It is what it is. He has been crap.
Yeah, I think that's
like,
the point.
I'm sorry, but, I'm not saying he's a bad player. Anyone who plays Premier League football, anyone who does what he's done, fair play. Brilliant. Last season, Brennan Johnson was crap.
Yeah.
He would be the first to admit it. And hopefully he goes to Everton and he does all right. And Dwight McNeil goes the other way. I like Dwight McNeil. I think he's a good player. His stats is what we were talking about on the show, me and Gabby, were crap.
Yeah.
So there's no apology needed. I know Gabby bottled it like he always does.
He blamed you. He said it was you.
He tried to throw me under the bus. Not the first time. Won't be the last. But I'll stand by it. Like...
No,
nothing against Brennan Johnson.
I think you're right.
He's got all the attributes to be a decent player.
Yeah, I think
last
you're right.
season he was crap. You are listening to Drive on talkSPORT with Gemma Hart, Rory, Jennings in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Still to come, we're going to be previewing European Super League final between PSG and Aston Villa live on talkSPORT tonight. Jason Cundy will be taking calls straight after the game. Just quickly, that Arsenal have reignited their interest in Aston Villa defender Ezri Konsa. God, I don't know if they can't afford to lose another player, can they?
With Villa? No, it's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. Like, you think about the team that won that trophy to get them into the Super Cup, and then you look at the team that's playing in the Super Cup. There's almost no correlation. Two of the goal scorers from that night gone. If Konsa goes as well, Tielemans, it's unreal, isn't it?
Those three best players, isn't it?
Yeah.
Devastated. All right, it's time for this. Yeah, best of talkSPORT. Run you through the recent highlight moments from across the station. Kick things off with a breakfast show. Chris Evans joined Alan Brazil in the studio and discussed tonight's solar eclipse.
I heard you at the start of the show talking about the solar eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
And sunglasses.
Yeah.
Sunglasses aren't enough.
Oh, really?
You've got to have your solar eclipse glasses.
I mind you, but you're into that now, aren't you? It's Mr. Health. You have changed over the last few years.
None of us want to go blind at 6 o'clock tonight, Al.
You're not going to. You're listening to all the hype again. You're not going to go blind. Be careful, but you're not going to go boom. Your eyes are not going to blow up.
Not looking at
the real Brazil is back. There he is. Look, we lit his fire.
I'm sick of people driving stuff in my head, which is a load of tosh.
He's not wrong, by the way. No. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, your eyes are not going to fall out the back of your head just because you look at a solar eclipse. Like, all right, okay, there's a bit of protection. We've all looked at the sun, right? And gone, oh, it's a bit bright.
Right, isn't it?
A bit bright. Yeah. But we've all done it.
Yeah.
Right, I get it. Like the solar eclipse tonight. Are you gonna watch it? You gonna have a look?
I might have a look. I'm playing cards
around 7:15.
Yeah, perfect for us.
7. Perfect. We just finished.
Probably be on the tube.
No, I might
watch it.
Yeah, I've got my car. I think I might pull over and see if what I try and do is try and get to Greenwich. There's a nice spot there. It's nice and open, big open field. If I can get there.
Do you buzz off things like this? Do you like it?
I love space. I love planets. I love the whole.
Do you like
cosmos.
aliens? Do you believe in aliens?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. We will find out in our lifetimes that we are not alone.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Like ET and that?
I mean, not so much ET, but we're not alone. There's too many planets out there for us to just be the only people there, right? It's just impossible.
Mate, you should start a podcast on this.
Well, I do. We get a
Jamie O'Hara on space.
I love space. I love. Every night after the sports bar, I go home. I put a space documentary on when I get in.
Do you really?
Love it.
Really?
Obsessed.
Really?
I'm going to buy a telescope. So when I get
and are you into star signs and all that?
No. Star signs and all that I'm not really bothered about. I'm not like a load of old guff, but I love looking at the sky. I love seeing like how irrelevant we are.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
You know, like we are are like a grain of sand.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
In the cosmos. So I love stuff like that. But I'm gonna pull over and watch it.
Yeah, fair.
I haven't got any special glasses. I'm just gonna, look at it.
Follow the Alan Brazil model. You'll be fine.
I just look away. All right.
Yeah. Old fashioned.
Do not look directly at the sun tonight. All right. So there's a bit of information for you.
Yeah. Don't make sure that you do not look directly at the sun. Now over to mid mornings with Shabana Hearn and Ben Foster. They were discussing Gabby Bon Lahore as well as our very own Jamie O'Hara.
So who do you think had a better career, Jamie or Gabby?
Definitely Gabby. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. Are you for real?
Oh, Jamie, we do love them.
We do love them both. We do love them. I feel like both of them are missing this part of the brain. Do you know where they think about the repercussions of stuff? It's like it's not there, so they just say, like, it's verbal diarrhea. They can just say what they want.
Oh goodness! Thanks for saying that out loud. We'll send that feedback to them.
Verbal diarrhea from Ben Foster aimed at you.
I don't know where that's come from, to be honest. I like Ben. He's a great goalie, but listen, everyone's allowed an opinion.
Do you have a response?
I don't care. I'm going to continue being me. I'm going to continue saying what I think. Sometimes I might get it right. Sometimes I might get it wrong.
Yeah.
But who actually cares?
Yeah. He suggested that you have a small brain.
Let me tell you, mate.
Who has the smallest brain at talkSPORT?
Gabby, 100%. Then Colton Cole. All right, that's just a shoot. All right, that's a fact. There's no two ways about it. After that, maybe then Jermaine Pennant. But listen, I don't sit in this chair if you ain't got a brain. All right, presenting one of the biggest shows on radio. You've got to have a bit of a break.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
You know, it's not all smoke and mirrors, lads. Come on.
Totally. Shabana Hearn is back tomorrow morning from 10 a.m. alongside Manchester United legend Steve Bruce.
All right, let's finish with a sports bar. Colton Cole was discussing his biggest fear.
This spider might be taunting me, and he's going to probably come around with his fellas. Yeah. What? So I said, let's get rid of him. So I've got this spider spray from TikTok shop. Yeah. And I've used it on a few of his mates outside in the garden. Yeah. But you're telling me that I shouldn't be killing spiders.
Right. You cannot kill a spider.
But I didn't kill it. I just sprayed it. So I got her to spray this particular spider that's in my bedroom chilling.
Yeah.
I didn't tell her to get it off the wall and then stamp on it.
What? You can kill a spider?
No, you can't kill a spider.
What do you mean?
You should never kill any of God's creatures.
What do you mean?
You don't kill a spider. If you spider's in your house, you don't want it there. If you empty your linen cupboard or whatever, and there's a spider, you catch it, you put a glass over the top, you delicately slide an A4 page. You don't want to kill it.
Yeah, but what difference does it make?
Cruel.
What do you mean?
Or never kill a spider. Also, I'll tell you why spiders are my friend. My enemy is a fly, and my enemy's enemy is my friend. Anything that catches flies, I hate. You know, like a housefly, I hate it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I like spiders. If spiders in my house, I wouldn't personally kill one because
You wouldn't kill a fly, but you hate them.
I hate them. Yeah. I hate many things. But
I've got the electric tennis racket.
No. Jason's right though. You don't kill spiders. You just release them into your garden. Release them onto your balcony.
So they come back.
They might come back. They might not.
But they come back.
What would you do? Just swat it?
Yeah, just bang. See you later.
Cruel.
Towel off the ceiling.
No,
Bang. See you later.
You'll have the RSPCA in your case.
Well, for a spider, daddy long legs.
Yeah.
It's not a tarantula.
Mate, you don't kill spiders. I completely agree with that. I do.
Anything that's in my house that shouldn't be there, it's gone.
Really?
See you later. Get out. Don't care. Towel, squat it.
No, I would never ever get rid. I like them.
All right, reminder, you can find all our shows on the talkSPORT app. You can swipe between talkSPORT, talkSPORT 2, all our other sister stations. You never miss a moment.
I've been watching Chelsea pre-season. I'm making a statement now. There is no reason why Chelsea cannot win this title. In fact, I'm going to say it. Chelsea win the title.
Oh!
Chelsea win the title. There is something about Chelsea. There is something about what we have got a cheat code. I'm not proud to say this, but we can go and win the title for a number of reasons. One, have you seen our front three? João Pedro, Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer's at a rest. He's been absolutely flogged. João Pedro's had a rest. Our midfield, the recruitment at the back, looks like almost certainly we're going to be playing a three at the back with someone called Xabi Alonso that knows how to win a title. One game a week. We saw how beneficial that can be when Conte took over Chelsea. Went to three at the back. Chelsea win the title. History is going to repeat itself. No, I never go out on a limb and talk like this about Chelsea. I said Arsenal win the title for the last 3 seasons, and eventually they did. I'm going Chelsea. You Gooners, you should be fearful of Chelsea. Yes, you're favourites, and I get it. And you've got an unbelievable team, and you've proven why you're the title holders because you deserve it. But I've got to tell you, there's a cheat code, and that cheat code is Chelsea playing 1 game a week, and we have a manager in Xabi Alonso who knows how to win a title. There are only 2 managers that can win this title that have won a title in the past, and that's Xabi Alonso and Mikel Arteta. Liverpool, new manager. Andoni Iraola doesn't know how to win a title. Spurs, De Zerbi. What's De Zerbi won? What's he won? Where's the noise?
He's annoyed. There we go. There we go.
There you go. Carrick. What's he won? There you go.
There we go.
Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hart, Rory, Jennings. Tonight, we have another chance at European glory for Aston Villa. Unai Emery, they face PSG in the Super Cup tonight, and it is, of course, live right here on talkSPORT.
Buendia, left-hand side of the penalty area. Low ball in. There's number 3. Morgan Rogers tapping in from Buendia's cross. And if there was ever any doubt, it has now been erased. And the name on the trophy is Aston Villa.
It's a test. Where's every team at? Where are PSG at? Yeah. Might have all their players available. What's their fitness like?
It's a nervy looking run up from Gabriel. Left-footed. He's missed it. He's missed the target as Paris Saint-Germain celebrate back-to-back Champions League titles. And this is where trusting the process gets you to European Cup finals.
Yeah, talkSPORT brings you live commentary of the Super Cup between Aston Villa and PSG, with coverage starting when we're done at 7. We'll have team news from that one as soon as it drops. Right now, though, it's time for this.
Rory.
What's up, Rory? Yeah, this is What's Up, Rory. We give you the floor to our former EastEnders star, Rory Jennings. I forget that you was. I forget that you was on
That
EastEnders.
is so unnecessary. I'm going to have a word with our producer afterwards. Mate, you have to have a very good memory to remember me in that.
I never watched EastEnders, but
Bill,
was you in Doctor Who as well?
What are you, a copper?
You've been in a few.
Yes, Your Honour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oliver Twist?
Oliver Twist, yeah, I was. On the Palladium. Yeah, one of the
around.
Yeah.
Well, so we've asked you to send in some voice notes on WhatsApp. So let's hear some of the best ones. Let's start with this one.
What up, Rory? Oh, dear. Just want to find out, I know you're a bit of an actor, what's your favourite TV show you've acted in, and what's your dream TV show to act in? Cheers, mate.
I'm not an actor anymore.
You'll always be an actor.
Really? Oh, what, in the way that I'm always... No, I don't think that's true. You're not an actor forever, are you? I was a schoolboy once. I'm not a schoolboy now.
Yeah, but you don't retire from acting, do you?
I think you do. You're still a professional footballer.
No, but I can't play professional football. You could go and act.
No, I don't think that's true. I think I'll tell you what I did. That I found fascinating. They made a film. Do you know who Cass Pennant is? Cass Pennant's a very, very famous, iconic West Ham fan. He was very much part of that West Ham underground hooligan movement, the ICF, that all occurred, decades ago now. They made a film about the life of Cass Pennant, and I was in that. And that was fascinating because I went to a few West Ham games with Cass Pennant.
Yeah.
The fellow they did a flashback. They did a flashback to Cass Pennant as a kid, and it was me. And the fellow that played Cass as a kid was Daniel Kaluuya, who's since gone on to win an Oscar and whatever else. So that was a great experience. Obviously, I had to play a West Ham fan.
What if you could pick any TV show now
to be in?
Yeah, what would it be?
I don't care. The Sopranos was probably my favourite
It's not
TV
on
show.
now.
The Wire. Oh, what? You mean just now?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know what? I'm going to do a bit of acting.
Oh, mate, I can't give this any consideration. Nothing. Literally, I'm trying to think of anything. Go back into EastEnders.
Corey?
No, I can't do that. Mate, you got to pick that'd be like you playing for Arsenal.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm an EastEnder
now?
till I die. Yeah. You can't go back.
Right.
Me going to Corrie would be the same as you playing for Arsenal. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right. Let's hear another one.
What's up, Rory? John from Subway here. What's the biggest opinion you've had that you've regretted most?
Nothing. I get everything spot on.
You don't?
Nothing. Every opinion's spot on. No, look, the one that people will always flag, and the one that I obviously got more wrong than anyone's ever got anything wrong, was what I said about Erling Haaland before he played a game for Man City.
What did you say?
Have you seen the clip? Have you never seen it?
Remind me.
I'll remind you. I was talking to a YouTuber called Thogden, and I was talking. Oh, brilliant! I've just had it in my ear that we've got it.
Yeah, let's play it
Erling
out.
Haaland will not live up to the expectation. If he scores 15, it would be a really good season. How have you got that quick? How has he got that quick?
That's amazing.
15, it would be a really good season. Oh, yeah.
15.
I said he scored 15. I think he scored 52 and won the treble. If he scores 15, it would be a really good season. I said he'd score 15. I said he was going to struggle. Do you know why I said that? Because so many arrivals from the Bundesliga, Jadon Sancho, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, they were coming in and they were struggling in the Premier League. No, Sancho wasn't great.
No, but he was built for the Premier League.
Yeah, but I thought that he would struggle because I'd watched Kai Havertz struggle. I'd watched Timo Werner struggle. And I didn't necessarily... Look, I said he'd score 15. If he scores 15, it would be a really good season. Scored 52, won the treble and was robbed of a Ballon d'Or.
I think he scored 15 in about 3 weeks.
No, he did. If he scored 15, it would be a really good season.
Yeah,
he scored a hat-trick at West Ham. And I said he scored 15. He had actually scored 15 by the end of October.
That's a bad one.
Yeah, it's a bad one. That was my... I mean, that was up there. And, in terms of, terrible prediction that everybody remembers, the famous one was Alan Hansen, wasn't it? You don't win anything with kids.
Yeah.
This was worse.
Yeah.
Because at least you don't win anything with kids. You could rationalise Alan Hansen being right because in that team you still had the likes of Eric Cantona, Peter Schmeichel, who were experienced. It wasn't all about Scholes and Beckham. It was about the experienced players. So you don't win anything with kids on some level was true. I said Haaland would score 15, max. 52, man. Yeah, 52, won a treble and should have won a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, it's outrageous stuff.
So that would be the one. Thank you for bringing it up. Thank you for finding it so quickly as well, Bill.
Right, let's listen to another one.
What's up, Rory? Down from Bradford here. I just want to know, who do you think would do a better job at Chelsea this season? Jose Mourinho or Xabi Alonso? Cheers, Rory.
The answer's always Jose Mourinho. Any question you ask me. Look, I love Mourinho, and look, I know he kind of betrayed us going to Tottenham and the way that he spoke about Chelsea and the Manchester United thing pointing at their emblem and whatever else. But I just love Mourinho. I don't even want to love him as much as I do. It's wrong that I love him. It's wrong that I believe in him as much as I do. But I still feel like he'd be a brilliant Chelsea manager now.
No, I agree. I still think if you put him in the Premier League, he'd be a top 3 Premier League manager.
Yeah. Look, I think now, where do you sit on this one, Jay? I think it's fair to say, in my opinion, but this isn't the point, right? In my opinion, Sir Alex Ferguson is the greatest Premier League manager ever.
Yep.
Pep Guardiola is the second. Jose Mourinho is the third. But the question for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You pick anyone at their very best. So Sir Alex Ferguson's best, when he was at his very best, maybe 1999, maybe 08, whatever you think it is, that version of Ferguson versus maybe Pep Guardiola's treble, probably 23, right? So 2023 Pep Guardiola versus Jose Mourinho 05, 06, something like that. Or maybe Jose Mourinho at Inter 2010.
Okay.
If you're picking them at their best for one season only.
Okay.
Who's the best in their best moment?
Sir Alex.
Better than the other two, even in their...
Oh, my God, yeah.
Really? See, I'd argue that Mourinho, of course, Sir Alex Ferguson is more of a Premier League legend. Of course, Guardiola is now. But I'd argue at his best, Mourinho's better than either of them.
Sir
In
Alex
terms
won
of a
the
single
treble.
season. Yeah, but in terms of a single... I mean, Mourinho won a treble with Inter. Look at what he did with Porto. I think if you're just saying, like, we're gonna have the manager for one season, who is it? I think it's
Sir Alex.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I'd argue here that it's Mourinho.
Imagine having one season of pomp, Sir Alex.
I've never seen anything like what Mourinho did at Chelsea. I've never seen anything like it. You know when he landed with us? We had waited.
I remember, I watched the doc. I
Mate,
watched it. It was
50 years.
Yeah.
We hadn't won a title for 50 years.
You just thought you was a big club.
He 50 years. He lands, mate, when Lampard takes the ball round Jaskalainen at the Reebok.
Yeah.
It was like one of the best moments of my life. It will always be one of the best moments of my life. And for that, we're forever indebted to Jose Mourinho.
Yeah. I'd still go Sir Alex. All right, let's hear one more.
What's up, Rory? I just want to know, who is your fashion inspiration? Because you've got some interesting clobber.
I don't think he likes it at all.
He's not wrong.
Mate, everyone has a pop at the way I dress.
Well, you've got them shorts on today.
Shorts are supposed to be short, though, aren't they?
No.
A homage to
I
being
mean,
on board.
look, I can see almost, you know...
I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
It's you know, they are shorts.
The shorts are supposed to
And I know you're tiny, right? But, you know, you're little Rory.
I love how you always get the height. Every show with you, it's because you're 5'8".
No, I'm
5'6".
No,
so
I'm
you use this
5'10",
as an option.
and you're 5'4".
You use a day with me. Anytime you're with me, you use it as an opportunity to do the height jokes because you can never do it in any other room you're in.
The shorts are ridiculous.
I don't think they are.
They are. They're like shorts. Like stand up.
Shorts.
Stand up. If you're watching on.
I'm too short to be seen.
Yeah, they are very. They don't look short on you though, which is weird because
shorts are supposed to be short. Shorts are supposed to be short.
Who is your fashion inspiration?
Think of any Nick Love film. Think of the shorts that Danny Dyer is wearing in those in those.
Yeah, in the business and all. Yeah, no, I get
exactly.
I hear.
Think of any exactly. I think every man should dress either like Jude Law in A Talented Mr. Ripley or Danny Dyer or Tamer Hassan in The Business. That's how you should dress. In the summer, you dress like Tamer Hassan.
Sergio Cicchini.
Yeah, exactly. In the summer, you dress like Tamer Hassan in The Business. In the winter, you dress like Jude Law in The Talented Mr. Ripley. There you go.
Is that your fashion?
Yeah, Jude Law would be my Jude Law, Talented Mr. Ripley. That's how you want to dress, like swanning about the Amalfi Coast in some like wide flared linen trousers.
Mm.
And then and then what you want to be doing is
questionable. Your club. I'm not going to lie.
I think it's elite.
No.
I think it's elite. Mate, we haven't all got friends in high places like you know.
Well,
Sam Banks this and Sam Banks that, and someone sent me this. And I didn't.
Sam Banks is a prop.
I didn't used to play for
good
Tottenham.
Stuff, Sam Banks.
I know. I'd love it. I can't afford it. I didn't used to play for Tottenham. Nobody sends me anything.
Yeah, but you know, Sam Banks is good quality stuff, mate. You know, it's staple.
I know. It would go very well with my short. Mate, you got friends in high places. I don't know anyone. I'm clinging on to your coattails. You're the only friend I got in high places.
I don't know if they have kid sizes though. That's the problem.
Mate, you can't do the high. To everybody listening, it's very important.
XXS.
No, I'm taking the mic for a second. I appreciate that you're hosting, but I'm taking over for a second. It's really important to me that everybody listening to this understands what's going on here. Jamie O'Hara is about 1.5 inches taller than me. I am a very short man. Jamie O'Hara is about 1.5 inches taller than me.
I'm 5'10".
He takes every opportunity to get the height jokes in now because this is the only time you can ever do it. Cundy towers over you. Bon Lahore towers over you.
Gabby does not tower.
Gabby's a foot taller than you.
These are
Gabby's a foot taller than you.
Cundy's deceivingly tall.
Mate, you just use this as an opportunity, don't you? It's the one time where you can do height jokes and you really make the most of it. Yeah. What's it like down there, Rory? Will you be able to see the solar eclipse from down there?
I'll get onto Sam Banks, mate. We'll sort you out.
Well, that's binding because that's on air.
But it's maybe go to Baby Gap. Give them a call. Message them on Instagram.
I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this WhatsApp Rory section.
That was your WhatsApp Rory section. Thanks everyone for sending them in. Up next, we're going to talk a little bit about Paul Pogba. Should a Premier League club take a punt on him?
Erling Haaland will not live up to the expectation. If he scores 15, it would be a really good season.
don't know. Because, do you know what I'm not buying, Gabby? I'm not buying this whole, Victor would have been a problem. I don't know if he would have been Vinny would have taken the number 7 shirt, would he?
No,
we don't know.
I don't think that, but like Vinny Junior's character, like he's coming to Arsenal, he wants Ballon d'Ors, he wants. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what's wrong with that?
No, but I'm saying, and also he's coming in on a lot more money than other players. If you're Saka and Rice and Ryan and Gabriel and Saliba, and he's coming in. Triple what you're earning,
massive causes.
Well, if you've won a couple of Champions Leagues, right, and the league is running out your ears, then
as far as the other players are concerned, that doesn't matter.
Why not? Why does that not matter?
They're the players who just won you the Premier League.
But that's the player. But that's the marquee signing. Bruno G cannot be our marquee signing. He can't. We need a statement signing. That's what I would like.
You don't need a statement signing. You don't need any particular signing. You'll win this Premier League without it. And, people will say, strengthen from a position of strength. Well, just ask Liverpool fans what happened when they won the league, and they strengthened with people like Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz.
Do you know what my issue is? Is that I do think we're going to win the league this year, and I think we're stronger. But I think of the fact that when you're in these kind of positions, like a Man City were when they first won the league, when they beat United on goal difference, you have to capitalise. You have to know that your future depends on this 2, 3, 4 year period.
You are listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Rory, Jennings, in partnership with Jack and Mo, style and brands for every man. Still to come, we'll have team news ahead of tonight's UEFA Super Cup. It's live on talkSPORT. Just quickly though, Galatasaray interested in Arsenal winger Gabriel Martinelli, possibly in a deal worth €45 million. Do you think they should be letting him go?
Not unless they get a replacement. I think it's fine to let him go if you bring in Bradley Barcola.
Yeah.
But I think for now they need to keep hold and make sure that they get someone in before they allow him to leave.
Yeah, he's a good player though on his day.
Martinelli's good. He's good. He's probably not good enough to be a starter for the champions. I think they do need to elevate that side. But it seems like they're going to. It's a priority for them. So I expect them to make a big signing. They were linked with Vinicius Junior. That didn't go their way. Now they'll start talking again. I'm sure we'll hear rumours.
Barcola will be a big
Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, whoever it ends up being.
Paul Pogba is expected to leave Monaco amid talks over a possible contract termination. First season at Monaco was disrupted by injury. He only made 6 appearances. Colton Cole was on a sports bar last night and was asked what could be next for him.
I would take him. I'll take a punt, but you'll have to have a sit down and conversation with him and to see where his head's at first.
Yeah.
And then you could probably go forward with that. Also, there's another reason why you could sign him too. Sell shirts. Kids love him.
Yeah, I know.
Kids love him, mate.
I know, but that's
I'm not. Listen, I know.
Sign a player just to sign.
Some people do. You
can't do that,
mate. Some people do. Pogba shirts. Imagine Pogba shirt on a Coventry shirt. Pogba.
Are you thrown him Coventry now? Have you? Oh, you don't want him. Oh, this is unbelievable. Why have you thrown Coventry's way?
Remember Pogba? Imagine Pogba.
Yeah.
On a Coventry shirt. Oh, that look neat.
Coley makes me die. You know, I love Coley.
Yeah, it's great.
Paul Pogba ain't signing for Coventry.
No. I think it's an
he ain't signing for
interesting
West Ham in the Championship either.
No, he's not doing that either. It's an interesting conversation, this Paul Pogba one, because, you know, when you talk about him, I think it's really important to acknowledge what an amazing player he was.
Yeah.
At one point. I know it didn't go well under Mourinho at Manchester United. I know overall, you know, all the hype. Do you remember the noise around him signing for Manchester United again?
100 million.
Pog back and all that. It was such a big deal, wasn't it? It felt like one of the biggest signings. Like, you know, recently when Arsenal were linked with Vinicius Jr., a lot of people were talking about would that be the biggest signing for the Premier League of all time? And I think there's a merit to that. It's possibly true. But a contender would be Pogba back to Manchester United.
Yeah.
Felt like the missing piece. It felt like they were going to win the league. He was so good for Juve under Conte.
Yeah.
That cross-field ball that he used to spray all the time. They won 3 leagues in a row.
Just never really happened for him at Man United again when he come back, did he? It was just a bad move, and it kind of then it's all gone a bit pear-shaped for him, and it has never really found it. But listen, he's a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
You know, like he's a top talent.
Scored in a World Cup final.
Could he still do a job for a Premier League club?
Sadly, I don't think so anymore. I don't think so. Like I rate Pogba so highly. Like I really do. I think on his day, he was of his generation. On his day, one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it for long enough. It didn't really go his way in the Premier League. But even if you just think about his moments in the Premier League, I think, do you remember when Manchester United battered Leeds first day of the season? I think it won 6-2. He was unreal. I think 4 assists. Was brilliant.
Yeah.
Think of the goal that Paul Pogba scored. I remember he scored a goal at West Ham, actually. It was just perfect. It was such an amazing goal, such an amazing strike. So it went wrong, but Pogba will go down. And I think people can be quite snide about him now. But I don't even think this is extreme. I'm doing this more off the top of my head, but Pogba will probably go down as one of the top 10 French players of all time. Won a World Cup, integral to them winning a World Cup. That partnership with N'Golo Kante.
I don't know about top 10.
What? I mean, it's certainly arguable. You think about it, he won 3 leagues in a row, 3 Scudettos in a row under Antonio Conte in Italy. I think is
potentially, maybe
top 10's a little bit generous, but one of the best French exports of all time. I don't think
Let's ask Mick. He's a Spurs fan. All right, Mick.
Good evening, boys. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, Mick. Just a little chat on Paul Pogba. Do you think he could still cut it in the Prem?
Listen, for a couple of years, he was a good player. But for a Premier and anywhere above mid-table Premier League team now would not touch him. He's a busted flush.
He's 33 and he's had injury problems, so I think his best days are well gone.
They are gone. But listen, it's not just that, it's the baggage that comes with it off the pitch. He's had a lot of problems, which fair play he's had to deal with, but he's not on his game. You look at the midfielders that have gone in the Prem this summer, and the ones that rule it at clubs, like you've got Rice at Arsenal, who's been brilliant, People said 100 million for him was a waste of money. Rubbish. Look how much value they've got out of that transfer.
Yeah.
Then you look at Anderson going for how much he's gone. Yeah. We paid over the top for Tonali, but we needed a player like him. Fernandes, I'm really happy we've got him.
Yeah.
Arsenal have bought Guimaraes. He's a good player. There is no way Pogba fits in that bracket now at that age.
No, I just don't think he's got the legs to compete in the Premier League anymore. He's got the talent, but I just don't think he's got the legs. The athleticism now of these Premier League players is outrageous. I think he'll end up in the MLS or somewhere like that. I think if that looks like the beckoning call, you know, when you're going into your last legs a little bit, but you still want something to offer, and he's still a big name, Paul Pogba. You know, MLS.
In terms of talent, I think he's one of the best players of his generation. I know that it didn't go his way, but there were moments where it did. When Manchester United beat Ajax in the Europa League final, he scores. When France win the World Cup in Moscow, he scores. There were moments where his career was unreal. I said he won 3 Italian leagues in a row. It was actually 4. with Antonio Conte. So there were periods where he was one of the best midfielders in the world.
Yeah.
I also think it's just in terms of talent. So Mick, the Tottenham fan there, just mentioned Declan Rice. Like, I love Rice. I think Rice is an amazing player.
Yeah.
I really love him.
Doesn't have the talent.
I don't even like how much I like Declan Rice. Like, I'm a Chelsea. I've never liked Arsenal players. And even I like Declan Rice. He strikes me as a really good bloke and a phenomenal footballer. But I think Declan Rice would even acknowledge himself that he doesn't have the talent of Paul Pogba.
No.
He's possibly going to go on to have a better Premier League career.
Yeah.
But he's not as talented a footballer.
No.
Paul Pogba's one of the most natural footballers in terms of the grace and the ease where he used to do it that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, but Declan Rice is an ultimate professional.
Yeah, ultimate professional.
You can rely on him.
Efficient, guaranteed. Like, I love Rice. Look, you build a team around Rice. Arsenal were lucky to have him. You build an England team around him.
4 Italian titles.
4 in a row.
And a World Cup.
Under Antonio Conte.
So, I don't know.
Scored in a World Cup final. Like, you know when people... It's funny, isn't it? You know when people can say, oh, did he underachieve? People say it about Rooney.
Yeah.
Like, Wayne Rooney finished his career as his country's top ever goal scorer and Manchester United's top ever goal scorer. And people go, do you reckon he underachieved? I'm like, are you a moron? Underachieved? He scored more goals for Man United than anyone previously. He scored more goals for England at the time than anyone previously.
Yeah.
He's also won a European Cup.
Yeah.
He's won whatever you could win domestically. And people go, I think you underachieved.
Yeah, I
people
know.
do it about Pogba.
Yeah.
Pogba had an amazing career.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing career. And
won World Cup.
Scored in a final.
Yeah.
And is one of the most naturally gifted footballers I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just didn't go his way.
Yeah. All right. Still to come, we'll have team news ahead of tonight's Super Cup final. It's live on talkSPORT. But first, it's time for no Googling. Right, here we go. We want to know who were the last Europa League winners to win the Super Cup. The answer to that, so much more coming up in Drive and talkSPORT. Max Dowman could be like, it's like having a new player.
What's that?
Because surely this has to
And
be
how
a
many
season.
players playing this side, by the way?
Yeah.
Tell me how many players are out there on that side where Downman was playing on the right a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they are just stacked, caked out wide.
Do you back Dowman to have... I mean, I think it was his breakthrough season last season, but he was
The
in and
15th
out.
breakthrough.
Yeah, I know, it's absolutely mad. But do you think that this could be a season where he's regularly starting and making a regular difference?
I think he's a special talent. I think he's at the right club. I think Arteta will, they'll have a lot of games this year, and they've obviously, Champions League as usual. You'll see him more this season than last season. That kid is a star in the making, and he looks like he's made of the right stuff, and he's very exciting every time you watch him. So when you see players like him in Rio at Liverpool, the future's very bright for the English national team, right?
Without a doubt. I think that come January, Arsenal fans might be looking back at the Vinicius Junior story and thinking, we didn't need him, because look at what Max Dowman's doing in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I'm not comparing him to Vinicius Junior before people shoot me down. What I'm saying is that in Max Dowman, you have the potential of a world-class talent. And if you continue to nurture him and release the handbrake on the minutes and on the game time, and I know you're protecting him as a young player, but if you do want to play a slightly more attacking, entertaining brand of football, then Max Dowman is the man to hang your hat on, because he's something special.
No, I love the look of him, but let's not kill the kid either and put too much on him at 15, 16. But they're stacked. I mean, I know everyone's worried about the left side, Martinelli, obviously Trossard's now gone and all those things, but I still look across their forward line and go, Arsenal could win the league again with what they've got.
Who would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? That seems to be the case with the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centerpiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first Super Bowl was held in 1967. Initially, the halftime show was a display purely for the fans in the stadium, with marching bands, dancers, and American patriotism for all to see. And that's what it was for the first few years. Disney had a go with a few questionable displays in the 1980s, but it wasn't until '93 that we got the first glimpse into the future of halftime shows. Michael Jackson's stellar performance gave NFL execs something to think about. A raft of massive names followed, including Diana Ross, U2, Janet Jackson, who gave us the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction of all time. So how many people are involved? To give you an idea of the scale, Rihanna's 2023 performance included 800 people, and experts reckon it cost $13 million. What's even more impressive than some of the names on the bill every year is the fact they do it for free. The artists know the exposure they'll get from doing the show will rocket them up the charts across the world. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
You are listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Jamahar, Rory, Jennings in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Following us from 7, Adrian Durham hosts live coverage of the UEFA Super Cup between Villa and PSG. And he has joined us now to look ahead. Evening, Aid.
Evening, how you doing?
I'm good, matey, I'm good. Look, obviously, live football's back. We can't wait for it. A big game, obviously, the Super Cup. But Villa go into tonight missing key players.
Live football's back, mate. Live football's back. Absolutely love it. Yeah, you're right. Listen, there's pre-season effectively. However, I kind of like the Super Cup, and I think it is something that you can brag about. It's another trophy to bring home. So I think Aston Villa need to be taking it seriously. They need to be getting ready for the start of the season. So, yeah, 1 or 2 issues, and they've lost some good players over the summer. So I think it's fascinating how Unai Emery is going to mould this new-look squad. They've signed players as well. It's not just about losing Tielemans and losing Rodgers. They've signed players as well. They've spent some money. So I'm intrigued as to how this side is going to look. I'm also intrigued as to the youngsters in this Villa squad as well, who've shown up well in pre-season. Maggio up front, Hemmings in midfield. They've got some good young players, Aston Villa. Intrigued to see if they get game time tonight.
Adrian, there are reports today that Arsenal are back in for Aston Villa defender Ezri Konsa. They just can't let him go, surely.
Well, I mean, Aston Villa, Unai Emery, I wonder whether it's something we're going to talk about in the build-up to the kick-off. Whether Unai Emery's getting frustrated with the rules. I mean, look at Newcastle, Champions League, win a trophy, Eddie Howe, it all falls apart when the PSR rules hit. Aston Villa seem to be in the same boat. Champions League, win a trophy, and now they're having to sell Morgan Rodgers. Now they're selling Tielemans as well. Like I say, they are signing players. It's whether, I mean, Newcastle signed Voldemort of £60 million. Eddie Howe didn't know how to use him, or he wasn't good enough. But they still spent that money. It's about how they spend the money they're allowed to spend and whether the manager can get the best out of those players. So we'll see with Aston Villa.
Do you think you could do an Eddie Howe?
Say again.
Do you think he could do an Eddie Howe?
I think so, yeah. I think that could happen. I mean, I'm actually, I've got a real big soft spot for Aston Villa. I mean, I remember when I was a young boy, they won the European Cup after winning the league. 81, they won the league. They won the European Cup 82. They actually went on to win the Super Cup after that, beating Barcelona in that two-legged final. So I remember all of that, and I got a real kind of soft spot for Aston Villa. So I want them to be up there. I want them to be seen as the big club that they are. So I would be disappointed because Unai Emery has taken them to such a level that they kind of dreamed of when they were in the Championship, just over 7 years ago.
Yeah. Look, just on PSG tonight then, Aid, obviously they got players coming back from the World Cup as well, but they've got more of a squad put together.
Yeah, they have. I mean, I'm intrigued by what happened last year. Obviously, Jamie, Spurs, who we know are going to be back. Spurs are back. But they thought they were back under Thomas Frank, 2-0 up against PSG, and then they absolutely blew it.
Yeah.
But the two goal scorers, Lee Kang-in and Gonzalo Ramos, that night, they got the late goals for PSG. They've gone, and that might not sound like they've lost a lot because they're not the big-name players, but what it meant was they had a squad that could back up if those big-name players weren't performing. So I'm intrigued as to how Luis Enrique is going to approach the season with a kind of new-look backup squad, second 11, if you like. So, yeah, they've got some top players. We'll see who plays tonight. Barcola is in the squads, but he's either going to go to Arsenal or Liverpool, so we understand it. Although I can see a scenario where he doesn't go to either, honestly.
Adrian, we kind of see this game as a friendly, don't we? It's certainly not massively competitive. However, Unai Emery has a wonderful track record in Europe, but he has never won this competition, and he's up against his former side tonight. He'd love a victory, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he keeps losing it, doesn't he? He's lost to Real Madrid, Barcelona. You know the other team he's lost to in the Super Cup, Rory?
Yeah, Chelsea, Villarreal in Belfast, right?
On penalties, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... was it Dublin? I thought it was Dublin. But anyway, you might be right. He hasn't got a great record in the Super Cup, but I don't see... I know what people are referring to when they call it a pre-season friendly, and it is effectively pre-season because we are pre the Premier League season. But I actually really like the Super Cup. I think the UEFA Super Cup is something to be proud of.
Yeah.
It should be the Champions League winners that win it, obviously, because the Champions League winning that means you are better than those that had to play in the Europa League. That's effectively the logic, but I think it could be competitive. So fascinated to see how Aston Villa go in the Premier League and the Champions League this season. I think our clubs need to be doing better in the Champions League, Villa included. We had a lot of round 16 exits last season. Not good enough, I think.
Aid, you're a legend. Can't wait for it. Live football back on the station.
Back.
It is back.
Love you too.
Adrian Durham is back. What a legend he is. His live football stuff is just outrageously good.
Voice of football. Unrivaled, actually. Completely unrivaled.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. He's the best in the business. Right, Premier League is nearly back. We thought we'd do a little prediction for the upcoming season. We're going to pick top 6, bottom 3, top scorer, best signing. Which team will be the surprise package? I'm going to go, Rory, I'm going to ask you top 6. Where have you gone?
I'm going to get these all right, just so you know. Right, is it in no particular order, or do you want it in order?
Oh, obviously I want it in order.
Okay, sorry, you asked for my top 6. I didn't necessarily know if you wanted me to do a spoiler for the league.
I want to know who's going to win the league.
Okay, Arsenal are going to win the league.
Okay.
Chelsea are going to finish 2nd. Liverpool going to finish 3rd. Manchester United going to finish 4th. Manchester City 5th. And Tottenham 6th. What are you rubbing your head about? That's nothing wrong with that.
You're miles off it. You're miles off it.
What?
You're miles off it.
Have you got yours?
Yeah. Well, I haven't even wrote it down, but I can tell you. Arsenal will win the league.
Yes.
Man City will finish 2nd. Man United will finish 3rd. Liverpool will... No, I'm going to say Chelsea will finish 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool will finish 5th. And... I'll say Spurs will finish 6th.
You're miles off it, mate. Miles off it.
Don't know if I am.
Mate, that's a bad prediction.
No, I don't know. Mate, Liverpool ain't started. Like, they've been moaning about that. Liverpool ain't going to be that great.
Liverpool will be. Antonio Areola is an excellent manager.
Yeah, I know, but the team's not there.
They get that if they get the players clicking from last year. Look, I'm basing this upon the likes of Alexander Isak firing, Florian Wirtz firing. It needs to work. But if
it's gonna though.
Look, if Areola can get Kirkes to be the player that he was when he was playing for him at Bournemouth, I feel like Liverpool. Look, Liverpool this time last year they were champions. There's no reason why they aren't challenging again. I really rate Areola so highly.
No, I think he's a good manager. I do, but I think they've got a long way to go. Bottom 3?
The bottom 3 are Hull will finish bottom.
Yeah, agreed.
Ipswich will finish second bottom.
Agreed.
And Newcastle United will finish third bottom. What's wrong with that? Everything I say, you're on my case.
You can't have Newcastle going down, mate. Come on, Rory, you can't have Newcastle going down.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not? They're not going down.
Why? Everything about the club. You look at the shape that the club are in.
What do you mean?
You look at the over-reliance that they had on Bruno Guimaraes.
The manager's left and
Eddie
they've
Howe's
lost the best
walked.
players. But they've still got a decent enough team to stay in the Premier League.
You would have said that about West Ham last year, wouldn't you? Who predicted West Ham to go down? Yours truly. Who predicted Graham Potter to make a pig's ear job? Yours truly.
No, I wouldn't have put West Ham to go down, but they had a terrible start to the season. They shouldn't have gone down. Newcastle are not going down.
It's very unlikely that it's just 3 up, 3 down, right? It's very unlikely.
I think
there isn't a bit of a
if
shock.
there's any club who've got probably the best opportunity, I'd say Coventry, just because Frank Lampard and I think like the feeling around the club. Like
Okay, pretend Coventry do it. Someone else has to go. So it's got to be someone with.
Yeah.
Brentford, Brighton, Palace, Newcastle. Someone has to go.
I would say Crystal Palace. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. I still think Coventry will struggle.
Who's your bottom 3 then?
Hull, Ipswich. I don't want to say Palace because I think Palace will be all right.
If you think Coventry survives, someone else has to go. I think it's Newcastle.
I don't think it's Newcastle. I don't. I like Frank Lampard and I really want him to do well. I think they'll go down.
Are you? Yeah. Snide.
But I think they'll put up a hell of a fight.
If Coventry, just play a game with me then. Coventry survive.
Yeah.
So who goes down? Who's
Palace?
Palace.
Yeah, not Newcastle.
See, this manager's got a good reputation.
Yeah.
Good reputation.
Top scorer?
I mean, it's boring, isn't it? It just is Erling Haaland.
Yeah. All right, okay. Who's close to him? Anyone?
Maybe Alexander Isak at Liverpool.
Yeah, if he gets going.
Maybe Alexander Isak.
Best signing?
I think there's a lot to choose from.
Well, from now, what we've got.
I'm going to go slightly left field with it.
Go on.
I think Lacroix, for us,
Yeah.
is exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
I think, look, obviously, our marquee signing is Morgan Rogers. Bringing in a player of Rogers' quality is exactly what we need. But there is something more natural about signing Lacroix, a Premier League proven centre-half. Somebody who is at the right age, somebody who is a full France international who featured for them at the World Cup. Bringing in Lacroix is exactly what we needed. I think that's an excellent signing. I nearly put Tonali. I think Tonali for Tottenham, it's not only is it massive, but it's also symbolic. It's symbolic that Tottenham are shopping at the top table.
Yeah.
Taking a player from Newcastle who finished above them in the table.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
it's a big signing.
Yeah, it's a big signing. Hopefully we keep him fit. The team that will be a surprise package.
Coventry City. I don't think Coventry go down, which is a surprise in itself. But I also think that they could. I think that they could finish in and around mid-table. You know, in the way that Sunderland shocked a lot of people last year.
Yeah.
I think that Coventry, they've got the momentum, they've got the enthusiasm. They've been through the mill, those fans. Like, they really have. They're going to be so buoyant.
Yeah.
Like, they were playing at Northampton, weren't they? They were playing at St Andrews at Vale.
Yeah.
Like, they deserve this. Like, when I was a kid, Coventry were a Premier League, Peter Unluck, Steve Grizovic and whatever. They were a Premier League side.
Yeah.
And now they're back. And I think that there's going to be a lot of buzz around them. Frank Lampard is obviously, in my opinion, a very good manager.
Yeah, I agree.
I think his time at Chelsea, people are very snide about it, and they're not honest. Like that first season at Chelsea, he took what was effectively our youth team. We lost Eden Hazard. We were on a transfer ban. And he took what was effectively our youth team to the last 16 of the Champions League, to the FA Cup final. We lost to Arsenal, but he took us to the FA Cup final. And we got knocked out by Bayern Munich in the last 16 of the Champions League. Bearing in mind, we had no transfer window. He had Reece James, Tammy Abraham, Fikayo Tomori, Mason Mount. It was Chelsea's youth team.
Yeah.
And he had us in the top 4 in an FA Cup final with no transfer window. Yeah. Losing Eden Hazard as well.
Disaster. It was the wrong time.
Second time, yeah, but that was just symptomatic of what was going on at Chelsea.
You can't say no to Chelsea, can you?
No, exactly. But no, I think they're going to have a good season, Coventry. I really hope they do.
Okay, I must.
What about your shock? Who's your shock?
Surprise package. I'm going to say Tottenham.
Oh, what? You're not going to finish 17th?
No, it's going to be a surprise package, mate.
And finish where? 16th.
Right, we're going to finish up. Last 15 minutes. I think Billy Boy's going to come in, do a little quiz. going on, mate? You've got
Big
Champions
players
League
come to big
football. You're
football clubs.
selling your best players. Absolute shambles.
The financial fair play rule.
Oh, bore off.
Can
No, you're not Spurs.
Can we put some concerts in your stadium?
Well, look, you dig me out all the time last season about Spurs and Beyonce this and Beyonce that.
Now it's helped you?
Yeah, mate, we got the money. We got the cash.
Yeah.
Don't make me laugh. You're selling Morgan Rogers.
We got no choice.
70 mil.
We got no choice.
You got Champions League football.
What can you do, though, if the rules say you have to sell? Do you know what I mean? You have to sell?
You should be banned from the Champions League.
Okay, but
You should be banned.
Okay.
You sold Tillmans. You sold Morgan Rogers. Constance wants to leave. You can't sell your three best players and then expect to be in the Champions League. You should be kicked out.
We've signed some very good players as well. Manzambi from what's funny? Manzambi, star, Swiss international at 20 years of age.
Yeah.
We've signed João Gomez from Wolves. Scored a fantastic goal the other night against Bayern Munich. He toe-poked it, Jamie, into the corner. It was fantastic.
Come on, mate.
Garnacho as well, point to prove.
Oh, do me a favour.
So, we'll be all right. We'll be all right, man.
Garnacho.
Well, we've got the best manager in the league.
No, I love Emery. But if you ain't careful, he'll leave.
Really?
Yeah, he'll leave.
Why?
Because he wants to win.
We won last season.
Yeah, I know, but then
Europa
you've
League.
sold your best players.
Yeah, but he'll understand the frustrating rules.
Mate,
He's
come
got
on.
owners. that wanna
Eventually,
spend.
he'll go, what like Eddie Howe's done with Newcastle, he'll go, no, I've had enough.
Isn't that what you want? And you're like your mob and like this so-called top six they call. You want that, don't
Big
you?
six.
You
Big
don't.
six.
You
Not
don't
top
want.
six, big six.
But you don't want Villa and Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? Being a bit of a pain, do you? You want like you can't.
Oh,
Spend.
yeah, keep you there. Keep you there. Listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hart and Rory Jennings. Following us from 7. Adrian Durham hosts live coverage. The UEFA Super Cup between PSG and Aston Villa. Live football's back on talkSPORT. Quickly though, Man United are prioritising left-back Lewis Hall in their search for a new left-back. That'd be a great signing.
You see what I mean though, Jamie? You know when I said that Newcastle could get relegated and you immediately thought that was like a wild thing? What about if Lewis Hall leaves then?
I just don't think. I just don't think they'll go down. But that would be a travesty.
You can see why I'm saying it.
Yeah, well, if they keep losing players, they will be in trouble. But I just.
And then you're talking about Vissa, Voltamada, Elanga. They might be good players. They might have been good players previously, but we've seen nothing of them in a Newcastle shirt to suggest that they can score the goals to keep them in the league.
I think they'll have enough. Super Cup team news is in, though. Let's get all the details now. Commentator Joe Shannon.
Well, the big news, Jamie, is that there's a Villa debut for 17-year-old Brian Maggio up front. He is very highly rated, and what an occasion upon which to make your club bow. 19-year-old George Hemmings is also given a start by Unai Emery, and there's a debut for new signing João Gomez in midfield. 10 of this 11 played against Bayern Munich in Hong Kong in the friendly on August the 7th. Of that team, John McGinn is the man recalled, and he comes back in. So Aston Villa have Bizzett in goal, Cash, Lindelof, Torres and Maatsen, McGinn, João Gomez, Kamara back from injury, and Hemmings with Buendia and Maggio up front. The Aston Villa bench still shorn of a number of key top players. Wright and Asamoah, the goalkeepers, Mings, Barkley, Abraham, Bogard, Nedjelkovic, Rowe, Alisson, Cisse, Burrows and young Luka Lynch. For PSG, well, they have gone strong. They give a debut to Maglus Akliouche, who has joined the club from Monaco, while Luca Digne is on the bench against Aston Villa, along with Arsenal and Liverpool target Bradley Barcola. He is in the PSG squad. PSG have Safanov in goal, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho and Mendes, João Neves, Vitinha and Zaire Emery, with Akliouche, Kvaratskhelia and Doué up front. It is the clash of European champions, the Champions League winners against the Europa League holders, PSG against Aston Villa, and it's coming up live on talkSPORT.
Okay, remember you can get your calls in to Jason Cundy and Dean Saunders on the Sports Bar from 10 o'clock. Now, though, it's time for this. Billy Boy's in the studio.
Evening, lads. How are we?
Right, mate.
What a great show.
Right. Oh, you're very kind. Right, all the friendship's over. I'm just going to smash you in this quiz now.
Well, I beat you yesterday.
I'm going to smash you now.
Reminder.
Do
Bill.
you know what we're doing?
Let's do it.
Villa face the French champions, PSG, tonight. So your quiz is all about France.
Oh, God.
Jamie, would you like to go first?
Yeah, go on.
Paris.
Nothing this man knows about France. Jamie O'Hara knows nothing about France. You know nothing.
Love France.
Paris is the most popular spot each year in the world for engagements. Where in the world is second on that list? Do you want some options?
No options.
Yeah, go on. Give me options.
Venice, Rome, Vegas.
That's a good quiz. That's tough. I would have thought London. I'm going to say Venice.
Nah.
What would you have said, Rory?
Vegas.
It is Vegas.
Is it?
Yeah.
Vegas has gone downhill.
Get married by an Elvis out there, though, can't you?
I'm not having Vegas anymore. It's been a long time, but it's just not for me.
Really?
Nah, it's gone.
Right, that's 1-0 Rory. Important stuff. 1-0.
Rory, placing a what upside down on a table in France is considered bad luck. Ready? Block of cheese, baguette, frog.
Jacques Dahara.
What? You place it upside down? You can't place a frog on a table, can you? I will say, how can you? What's the upside of a block of cheese?
I don't know.
It's the same every side.
That's a good point.
I don't know. It depends on camembert.
I'm going to go baguette.
Yeah, it is baguette. Can a baguette be upside down, though?
Yeah, of course it can.
Yeah.
Really?
There's an upside to a baguette and a downside to a baguette.
Really?
God, O'Hara, you're getting smashed up again.
Jamie, the French have lovely accents, but which of these was voted recently the most attractive UK accent?
Okay.
Geordie, Scottish, West Country.
Jacques Dahara.
I'm going to go Geordie.
The most attractive?
Scottish. That's the right answer.
I would have thought London.
I love a London
accent. Me and you, mate.
Nah, the old London accent.
Mate, me and you. We
all over the world.
Mate, we have the most romantic accent in the world. Listen
Everyone
to us.
loves the when you.
Mate, this
London
is the
accent.
Mate, me and you speak the language of love.
I do like a Scottish accent, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite aggressive, though.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said Geordie. My missus speaks with a Geordie accent.
Yeah, Geordies. I like Geordies.
Rory, where are French fries from?
America.
France, Belgium, USA.
Definitely Belgium. Fritz and Moules and
You going USA or
Definitely
Belgium? It is Belgium, yeah. Well done.
Mate, you're O'Hara.
Hold on, his first answer was America.
No, that was before. That was before I heard any of the options.
No, you have to take your first answer.
Of course, it's Belgium. They love it. They love it with.
You said America. So it's still 1-0.
Yeah, I can't give you that.
No, I've got that.
Jamie, snails are a French delicacy. They're very slow, but which of these animals can move the fastest? Zebra, giraffe, elephant.
Zebra, giraffe, or an elephant?
Obvious, isn't it?
I mean,
the skinny, lanky one.
I would have to go. It's got to be a zebra. Got to. I don't know.
How do you say snail in French?
A giraffe can move as well, though. I reckon giraffe can shift.
Giraffe gets shift on.
I'm going zebra.
Zebra is correct. 40 miles an hour.
Damn it.
They can get up
It's
there.
like a horse, isn't it?
Got to run away from the lion.
Trying to eat it.
Yeah, it's like a horse. You do well on the Grand National.
Rory, last one. Paris has hosted the Summer Olympic Games 3 times.
Yeah.
Can you name the 5 colours of the Olympic rings?
Oh, no. No, I can't. Red, blue, green, gold, white.
Nearly. Yellow and black you needed after those 3.
Nearly. Unlucky, mate.
I think Jamie takes that in the end.
Well, it's not 1-1. Come on, we got.
All right.
Finish it.
Yeah, last question.
Okay,
Who gets it first?
Gabriel Bonloho had 93 pace on the old FIFA games. Okay. Top speed of 21.6 miles an hour. How long would it take him to sprint across the English Channel to France from England?
This channel's not big.
Closest
You can
wins.
swim it in that. It would take him 23 miles an hour. I reckon it takes him 58 minutes.
Jamie?
Well, I'm going to go an hour. Over an hour.
It's 58 minutes, bang on.
That's unbelievable, Rory.
There we go.
Right, you got to take that on the chin.
There we go.
Well done.
Best answer of all time, though.
That's on the dot. I'd imagine Gabby running across the channel. You've been listening to Drive and Talk Sport with Jamahar, Rory, Jennings. Back tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm alongside Darren Bent. He's back from his holidays. Don't go anywhere, though. Up next, live commentary on Talk Sport. He's back. Aston Villa versus PSG. History is going to repeat itself. No, I never go out on a limb and talk like this about Chelsea. I said Arsenal win the title for the last 3 seasons, and eventually they did. I'm going Chelsea. You Gooners, you should be fearful of Chelsea.
This is it, you see. He's been down the Wimpole clinic, and all of a
What has he
sudden,
been eating in the Maldives? That's what I want to know.
I don't think it's that.
Now,
Don't
what
get me
is
wrong.
what has he been smoking?
Do you know what it is?
He's talking absolute guff.
It's everything, no, Jay. It's everything combined.
Everything about him I hate already.